Welcome to another exciting edition, another night of fun and festivities of the Voice of the Colin Nation radio show. Hello again. I am your humble chief host, well, not so much as humble, but chief host, the College Genesis, guiding you through the next few hours in some interesting conversation and a stimulating debate, Well, look, they changed the studio around. Let me take a look at the studio. Every time I look around, they always change something on here. And I don't know until I get ready to start my show. And I'm like, this table. This table's so far away from me. I didn't rearrange the furniture. The wife did, But yeah, so let's see. It says present or invite. I guess I don't know. I could click on either one. Present or invite. I'd rather do more presenting than inviting, But tonight we're gonna have a good show tonight. As you know, something the College Genesis with all my sense, my humor, and everything. Let me tell you something, folks. You say, why Colin? Why are you always trying to be funny, right? Look, I keep laughing so I don't have to cry, So my heart is like breaking right now for everything that's going on in our culture and our community and everything like that with the black leaders or misleaders and everything like that. It just seems that, after everything is said and done, the white man pulled our card, right? He called our bluff. And the bottom line is black men are sinking into buffoonery, clownery, and utter chaos. So the fact that we come at each other left and right, and we make the biggest threat to us is other black people. I have never think in a million years I would live to see the day where the biggest threat to black America would be tethers from the Caribbean or tethers from Africa. Everything has gone wrong. You're going to tell me we're on the right track? No, we're not on the right track, folks. The white man gets off scot-free. He walks around scot-free. I did it. I got the Negroes fighting against each other and all this kind of nonsense and everything. So tonight, man, we're going to have a little fun, right? Tonight's topic, deadly clowns in black leadership position, Because I always said like this, the black leadership is, you can call the College Genesis the ringmaster. Why? Because I'm dealing with a circus of deadly clowns, Now, you better take the clown Negro seriously, right? Now, let me tell you about the history of the clown, right? See, the clown in every society was like a court jester, buffoon, idiot, simpleton. Nobody took serious. It's something to ridicule and laugh and make other people laugh at his own expense. Where is the fact, not only of our leaders are clowns, right? Something to ridicule, laugh, and everything. Our leaders are offering us up to the world as something to ridicule, laugh, humiliate, and exploit and everything like that. I didn't sign up for this. One thing I'm going to tell you right now is our real black people, we really get us alone. We're serious. And we're a serious freaking people. And the bottom line, that last election showed you how serious black America is. You can't come up to here with a bunch of clown stuff, shaking your ass and giving out fried chicken and say, yeah, man, go out to vote, and then talk all the whole racism, white supremacy, all that. We're sick of the clown shit, We're more intelligent people with agency and with a mind that cares about the world. We care about the issues. You never hear them engage in black people. What do you think about climate change? What do you think about this? What do you think about all these issues right there? The only thing they keep talking about is, what's his name, George Floyd and DEI and all this kind of stupid stuff that they think that's going to trigger us. Now the big clown show is, get this, all right, listen to this very carefully. You got people actually taking this argument seriously that Donald Trump is bringing back segregation. This is what I mean by the circus. And you got prominent people like Roland Farton Martin and Al Sharpton and all those other, we're going to go back to segregation. Look, you fucking fools, Nobody's bringing back segregation. That's not what the repeal is all about. What they don't understand is the Civil Rights Act and Johnson's interpretation of the Civil Rights Act and everything, just like the 14th Amendment, was specifically for African Americans. You understand that? The Civil Rights Bill in the 1960s was about Black America integrating into white mainstream society. It had nothing to do with illegal aliens. It had nothing to do with transgenders. It had nothing to do with feminists and all these other weirdos in the white community and everything like that. This is what's getting struck down. If you're a friggin', your pronoun is you're a man, but your pronoun is he, she, you should have a separate space. You should have a separate space. You could exclude people, but in other words, basically, if you're a female, you're a feminist, whatever like that, and you don't want no males in there and whatnot, you could basically say, hey, look, we self-identify as women. That's our identity, whatever. It's always what you self-identify as. See, race is something you're born with, not what you self-identify as. Over the years, they've trivialized and watered down our struggle to what you feel like. Being Black isn't what you feel like. It's something that you were born with every day. And by the time I was 9 years old, I would realize that, damn, man, this is going to be rough. I realized that I was not white. I knew that the world saw me differently. And when I was a Black kid in a white school, the one thing I always said, if I had white skin like my friends, my life would be perfect, Every Black person that goes to school around white people have one time thought about that. What would my life be if I was white? What would I have? What would I do? So I was no different than any other kid in America. I just wanted to be free. I wanted to be an American. They gave me this idea about America. They said, you're American now. You say it like this, No, not me. We come from two different time periods, Dark Migo. I'm from the 70s and the 80s. It was a different time period right there. Being Black was not cool back then. Being Black means I had to get beat up every day. Being Black, I got called nigger and spit on every day. So basically, I come from a different time period, So excuse me if somebody does, people offended was like, yeah, okay, you came up with 2000s, 90s. Okay, it's a different time period for you. I came up with a time period. I knew Black people who were killed for being in the wrong neighborhood, for dating the wrong girl. That's the world I came from. I had to be I couldn't be in a certain neighborhood after a certain time. That's the world I came from. Fortunately, you live in a world where you can go wherever you want to go to. You're free. I wasn't free when I was growing up. Being Black was not good when I was a kid. Not good at all. So yeah, as a kid, just naturally, you didn't want this stuff. You just wanted to be accepted. You just wanted to be like anybody else. You didn't want all this racism stuff and everything. But like I said, by the time I was 14 and whatnot, I changed. I said, something? Since the world's never going to forgive me for being Black, I'm not going to forgive the world for making me Black, And I've been like that ever since, to this day. That's why I'm a Black nationalist, I came to the conclusion that, look, I didn't ask to be brought to this country. I didn't ask for slavery. And then right around the same time, I learned about roots. I learned that my ancestors were put on slave ships and dragged over here to work for free. And the white kids used to mock me in school, call me Kunta Kinte. Used to tell me to go pick cotton. Used to call me nigger, spook, jungle bunny. And the worst thing they could call you was a Black African. That's the worst thing they call you was an African. That just said you have no chance in our world. You have nothing. You're African. You have no chance in our world. You're the part of Africa. By the time I was 14, 15, I began having pride in being Black African. And I've always been an African nationalist and whatnot all my life. That's why when I hear people talking about I'm Native American and whatnot, I'm sorry, you're a fucking race traitor. When I hear people talking about I was already here and all this kind of nonsense and everything, you're a race traitor. I'm standing firm on my ground because the white man is not going to let me feel ashamed of being what I am. God made me Black, and that's what the hell I'm going to stand on. And I don't give a damn who does not like it. And so that's where I'm coming from, Yeah, Sundown Town too. I don't know. Maybe I think they do. But when I was growing up, it wasn't no myth or whatever like that. There was literally places you knew not to be in. As simple as that. You could be a Black man with a suit and tie. You just not being. Even in the daytime. It was not even sundown. It was like sun up, sundown, midtown, whatever like that. You just did not go there. There's some places you just not go if you're black. As simple as that. We all knew that. We all knew the rules. There were certain counties and towns you heard. Don't go up there. Don't go there. Because we knew about people becoming missing. People ended up dead. Bodies discovered and stuff like that. That's what I grew up with. That's what I grew up with. I grew up also around the time period when I was a kid, the Atlanta child murders was happening, where black kids were disappearing and found murdered. They tried to put it on a black guy, but it was really a Klan. They discovered years ago it was a Klan that was behind this to try to instigate a race war. So this is stuff I grew up with. And there's other incidents that happened throughout the United States where black people were lynched and killed in the 80s, in the 70s and 80s. So I didn't have a good life when I was coming up. But I had this thing about America that everybody talk about. I lived the fucking real thing. Nobody could talk to me, you know? Yeah, that wasn't a black guy, you know, Clarence or whatever his name is. It was a fucking Klan who did that. Those murders, you know. It was physically impossible for him to do that. They know that. But the black establishment, you know what's the sad part about the Atlanta murder, like these deadly clowns I'm talking about tonight? It was the black so-called leadership in Atlanta, right? That covered it up. Why? Because they said they feared it was going to cause a race war. So they basically went along with the idea of, matter of fact, I should play a video. Should I play a video of the Atlanta child murders? Should I play a video? Put a one in the chat room if you want to see a video about the Atlanta child murders. And also the black leadership sold us. That's why I said, I don't know, people say, Colin, what do you have against Atlanta? I still remember that, you know, how the black leadership sold those children out. Sold our children out because they said they were making progress, you know, progress. We can't stop the progress. What the hell's a progress? And you get, if these people could friggin' get away with murder and shit like that, you know? Because you still scared of the Klan. You know they're operating and killing black people, but you thinking about your progress. And we got progress. That's what I said, man. You can't have progress without absolute freedom, you know? You can't have progress with actual freedom, you know? So as long as the black leadership is a three-wing circus full of deadly clowns, we're never going to get any place, you know? We are never going to get any place as long as the black leadership in America is full of deadly clowns. Hold up, folks. I gotta get comfortable here. And hold up. Give me a second, folks. I gotta move this friggin' table. It's all the hell over here. I didn't mean to get mad, but god damn. I gotta get comfortable. All right, I'm back. Now the table's actually in front of me. I'm comfortable. Yeah, so this is what we're talking about tonight, right? And the whole thing is this: as long as we have so-called leaders, right? Because God forbid if you question a so-called leader, somebody principal will tell you, "Color, man, you need to be obedient to your leadership." You know, I don't have no leadership. Somebody please tell Princess P I don't have any leadership, that I have absolutely no respect for anybody. Have you learned anything about the college Genesis? I respect no one. You know, everybody I see is full of shit. Every one of them. You know, I respect nobody. Because all these people are is about themselves and their own fame, you know, everything. Even Al Sharpton, the way he's like going against Al Sharpton, it ain't about black people. It's about him. Him trying to show the world, I'm still in charge. I'm bad. I'm Al Sharpton. I can get out in the streets. I can influence people and not, you know. you better invite me to the White House for dinner and whatnot, you know. You better look like this, you know. Man, I'm telling you right now, if you're the type in 2025 still listening to so-called black leaders, you are lost. Don't listen to leaders, don't listen to influencers, they're all full of shit. They're all full of shit. That's where it really boils down to. Nobody's serious about shit in Black America. It's just a freaking shit show. So I tell people all the time, do your own thing. You know, make up your own decisions. Make your own mind up. Whatever you feel is necessary. Use reason and logic. Use LARP. You know what LARP is in the College Genesis? What says LARP is, right? LARP is what's logical, achievable, reasonable, and practical. If it ain't LARP, leave it alone. I'm a LARPist. You should become a LARPist. So when you see something, you say to yourself, is that logical? No. 9 times out of 10, it's not. Is that achievable? 9 times out of 10, absolutely not. Is it reasonable? Nah, that nigga's crazy. No. Is it practical? No, because it's not really fucking necessary. Everything they do, it's not LARP, you know? You know, so it's Gal Sharpton, yeah. Gal Sharpton, that's a good one, man. I gotta remember that one, Gal Sharpton. So this is what we're talking about tonight. Black leadership is a 3-ring circus full of deadly clowns, you know? Speaking of deadly clowns, they had Umar's out right now. Now he's running around, avoiding his obligations with his daughter that comes out and says he's a deadbeat dad and stuff like that. I mean, put up the man's personal business, but he jumped out there and started telling everybody, all the black men in America, about themselves and everything like that. And he comes out to be a deadbeat dad, you know? And somebody put a video out the other day. It's pretty funny, right? Umar's going in on somebody who made a comment like, damn, Umar, I was 12 years old. I want to extend your school. Now I'm in my 20s, man. And Umar said, oh, you trying to be funny, crusty, dusty? You got to see that video. It's freaking hilarious. Umar just going off on him, calling him crusty and dusty and everything like that. All the kid said was, I wanted to go to your school. I was waiting for your school to open since I was 12 years old. I wanted to attend. And Umar just went off and he just lost it. That shit was funny. Umar just lost it. What are you talking about? You trying to be funny, crusty, dusty? That was funny, you know. Look, you know what I'm saying? Umar is not a disappointment. Umar is doing exactly what I knew and thought he was capable of doing years ago. You know, everything Umar is doing. Yeah, that's what I said. I never put no faith in Umar. Never set the money, whatever like that. He just sometimes he says some good stuff and everything like that. You know, I don't think he's a traitor or anything like that. I think he really does care about black people and everything like that. But I think his problem is he's in over his head. You know, he's in over his head, and he's trying to be something that he wants to be this great black leader, but. The thing is about him, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, right? If I had a camera in my hand 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and going live every 2 seconds, asking money, I would be just like him. You'll see my faults, you'll see everything about me, but since I'm the only thing you know about me is what you see on Facebook, what you see on YouTube, and me, my guest appearances, and everything like that. So I control my image that I put out there, because I'm not really relying on YouTube and all that for a living and everything like that. So my image, if you got to see me all the time, like Umar, he just gets out of bed, don't even brush his teeth, don't wash his face, whatever like that, just start talking to an inquiry. You would think I'm different too. You would think I was crazy too, you know, but I don't do that. Every time I do a show, I'm measured. I make sure I'm not intoxicated, whatever like that. And I've thought about everything I'm going to say when I get on these shows, you know? And so therefore, even though I'll be on 6 hours or whatnot, I'm very straight about what I say, and I stay on code and I stay on message, you know? Now, if I was all over the place, just comment on everything, and you notice that me, College Genesis, you notice how some topics College will talk about? Because maybe I don't have a really strong opinion about it. That's why I'll talk about it. College, what do you think about this? I don't know. I haven't really thought that was important. I really concentrate on things that I think is important to my mission. Sometimes you'll see me comment on popular culture if it rubs me the wrong way or something like that. But I don't have an opinion on everything. You know, you cannot be opinionated on everything. You know, if you lose people after that. Every time there's an incident that happens, whether it's Stephen A. Smith or LeBron James, or Umar's comment on every freaking thing. You can't be that. You cannot have opinion, a know-it-all opinion. I stick to black nationalist politics. You want to know what I feel about the Congo? Yes. You want to know what I feel about Paul Kagame? Yes. You want to think about Donald Trump and his sanctioning of South Africa? Yes. I love talking about Nigeria, you know. I'm in Liberia right now. I'll talk about Liberia, you know. I'll talk about history and everything like that. I stay in my lane, you know. But certain things I don't bother with. Like to this day, I don't know who Kendrick Lamar is. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. Colin, what do you think about the Super Bowl? I don't know. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I don't watch the damn half, especially I'm not going to watch the halftime show. I don't care about Kendrick Lamar. It does not do anything for me at all. So therefore, I'm not going to comment on that. So therefore, when people say, oh, yeah, like, oh, well, Colin didn't give his opinion. Well, you're not going to. Now, if you pry me and ask me, probe me like that, maybe I might respond. But I'm not going to have a volunteer opinion on everything, you know? On everything, you know? I don't think that's necessary. I believe when you're a leader or trying to lead people, you got to stay focused on what your mission is. You can't be all over the place. Umar made his mistake when he commented on black women, when he always going after black men, talking about snow bunny this, snow bunny that, and all that. Okay, that's fine. We understand how you feel, right? But people have noticed that do Dessalines noticed too. And also, I think Haven Bullis noticed it too. I don't care. I get those two mixed up. That he never, ever talks about black women with white men. That's strange. And then basically he always says things under his breath like, I just, and stuff like that, you know, and all these things like that. And I'm like, whoa, you know, I'm like, whoa, that's not cool. How you going to talk about black men with white women, and all of a sudden you say nothing about black women with white men? You know, you're supposed to be coveting your woman. You know, that's your base. That's your protection. You're supposed to be protecting your woman. You know, if you basically don't protect your woman, then basically you got nothing. You know, right now I feel like the white man feels like he has everything. He's just flaunting his power over black women. And the bottom line, white men, look, I didn't notice it until I moved to the South. There's a sick relationship between black men and black women and white men that's been going on since slavery time. It still continues, mostly in the South. You know, I didn't really see this when I lived in the North, but down here, down in the South, whatnot, white men have this access to black women. You know, he's always a provider. He's always what they dream about when the black women work for them and stuff like that. They see their son Billy going off to college, and she just dreams about that life of whiteness and stuff like that. And they do something to black women when they sit there and watch these Harlequin romance stories and daytime soap operas and stuff like that. Yeah, it affects black women, you know. And now you see black women, all you see these little skits on Reel and YouTube of black women pursuing white men like they're going to be in competition. The black women actually think they're going to be in competition with white women for the affection of white men. That's what you're living with right now, you know? So I'm saying to myself, what the hell? So Umar has never addressed that. There's a concerted effort to steer a young black girl like this Zanaya, you know, with this Tom Holland clown, with the Spider-Man. You know, what also this white boy, this Harry Potter white boy worship among black girls in America, you know, with the Disney Channel and all stuff like this. This is brainwashing. The Jonas Brothers and all this kind of stupid NSYNC. You know, this is going to young black girls impressionable, you know? And so therefore, I didn't see Umar move the needle one bit. He's never addressed that. He never addressed the whitewashing of black women and the brainwashing of black men. That's the root of all the problems in our culture. That's the root of it. While a lot of black women have expectations of higher expectations than they within their means, they won't look at a blue collar brother who's probably a good man who could provide, whatever like that, they're looking at that Brad who has a Corvette and a Porsche or whatever like that, and they're thinking, why can't I be with that guy? That's what it is, and they see that, well, they want mixed kids because let's be honest with ourselves. In this society, mixed kids have it better. And subconsciously, black women, let's say during time, women breed with certain men to produce stronger kids because they want their kids to have a best chance of survival. In America, your best chance of survival is by having mixed race or lighter skinned kids. So that's what the thing. I don't know if they're gonna get a rude awakening, bro. I don't think black women really care. They would much rather go through what they're going through right now, rejection from white men and whatnot. Because I see an awful lot of black women with mixed race kids, single mothers of mixed race kids, and it's so acceptable and okay. But the whole thing is, that's what it is because we never built a community. We never built anything, So there's nobody holding black women accountable, Yeah, mixed kids still spreads racism. And also, I noticed something, right? People don't know this, right? I live in Virginia Beach, right? There's a lot of mixed kids from white mothers and black fathers, right? I know a lot of them. I had a lot of white female friends that had half black kids, and the reason why they were cool with me because they thought I could be like a black male figure to their kids, whatever like that. I'm like, yeah, they're mixed, whatever. I don't know. I'll try. Hey, look, we're cool, whatever. I mean, I'm cool. I had white female friends that may have mixed kids and whatnot, okay. But the whole thing is, though, is I think my observation, I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this, whatever like that. But this thing I've noticed, right, this is a lot of white people who have mixed kids always gravitate towards the thug, the gangster, the negative side of black America. I've seen this. I've seen gangs. Most of the gangs you see in Virginia Beach and everything are led by mixed race kids. Mixed race kids are Bloods and Crips. They're trying to find their identity. And they find identity in the street life. They don't say, I'm black, and then go to like the 5 percenters, the Nation of Islam, and all this other stuff like that, like they did back in the days. Now, being black is joining the Bloods or getting jumped in with the Bloods and the Crips and stuff like that. Being a gangster rapper or being a rapper or stuff like this. This is what's happening. Because before, mixed kids used to assimilate into black society. Really. Mixed kids used to assimilate into black society, Yeah, but the bottom line is this. Yeah, they may get called the N-word, bro, but wise. But trust me, they don't go through the same thing that you and I may go through. Trust me. White people have had this thing now that's going on too is they don't call mixed kids biracial. They call them light skins. They say they almost like they call the mixed race kids and the very light skinned kids that another race. They say the light skins. In other words, that's something more acceptable than being black. And it's like it is a status, particularly among females, light skinned black females, mixed race females. There's a status to them. They're almost alongside of being white. Near being white. Because white people have learned over the years to accept these people. Into the fold. A lot of white families who were once racist back in the days now got mixed race grandkids, and they basically raise them up into white suburbia. They're going out to soccer games and stuff like that. Look, I'm in white suburbia, Virginia Beach. I see it all. I'm very observant. I know it's over the years. When I first moved here 30-something years ago in Virginia Beach, I did not see a lot of mixed couples. Right? I seen some, right? But it was like an anomaly. But now there's so many mixed kids and whatnot, the white community has made it like acceptable to have mixed kids. You have cousins out there. One of the cousins is mixed and other rest of them, and they're out there playing the same games, doing the same things, whatever like that. It is what it is, But one thing has not changed is the disdain for black people, that has not changed. Mixed kids will do well in America, right? That's what it is. They'll do well in America. As black America is going to suffer. It used to be mixed people who used to come to the black side of town and whatnot, but now they don't have to anymore because of new suburbia and stuff like that. They don't have to come to the black side of town anymore, And what is on the black side of town? You know, do we have a loving, supportive community that they can come to? No. All hell's breaking loose. There was this video going viral on Facebook where these females at Warrior, one female had wearing her panties, and they were like fighting. When her friend jumped this girl, whatever like that, because the girl said, "You smell like tapia." What's that fish? Tapia, whatever. Whatever. The girl, they jumped him and they beat him up, and the guy trying to pull him apart. When he's female, oh my God, man, it's just. I said to myself, 3 days I'll be back in the United States, and that's what I got to look forward to. I got to look forward to. I am not looking forward to Bunquisha and all this nasty ghetto shit and everything like that. I don't know what to do. I don't want to come back. Really, I don't. Tilapia. Yeah, tilapia. That's it. Tilapia. Girl say you smell like tilapia, yeah. Oh yeah, wise. White people are smart. They're like, something. They betting on the mixed race people will mix back into the white population, and then they win. Because all it takes. We see that one football player. I think he's from the Chiefs, whatever. It's like 3 generations, and the blackness is gone. I think his grandfather's black, the father's mixed race, and he's mixed race, and kids all down the line. You said one guy. I forgot what his name is. Right, a football player. And they said like this: it don't take much for you to be erased back, your blackness to be erased. Look at Muhammad Ali's grandsons. They look like white boys. It's a shame. This is what we're dealing with. So white people are like, hey, look, you're gonna come back home anyway to the white race because it's always gonna be a benefit to being white in this country. It is what it is. So all these people are, oh yeah, we're mixing. No, we're mixing. Mixed race mixing is dangerous to Black America. Tell you. Mixed race is dangerous to Black America. So we're gonna basically rock and roll tonight, folks. Man, we're gonna get down tonight. I'm not gonna be on that long tonight, folks. I gotta get up in the morning. Tomorrow I have a party in my house, my housewarming party. What do you say when you first move into a house? Housewarming party. I invited a bunch of guests tomorrow. We'll have some food and everything like that. See how it goes when all my friends in the BAIO and chapter here, and friends and people I know in Liberia. That's the one thing I say. You tell people, say, yeah, Kyle is serious. He's in Liberia, man. He's built a bed. I have a network here, of people. I have a house now. I'm entrenched into the community and the culture. I can actually do stuff. And from here, I'm going to be able to launch into other parts of Africa. And like I told you, sooner or later, we're going to be in negotiation for a land of our own. But you have to start somewhere, That's wise. They always say the population explosion in Africa, but the death rate in Africa is high. Life expectancy in Africa is low. And people always say that European, it depends on what you mean by a low birth rate in Europe. People always say that, right? But when you talk about Europe, you're talking about the industrialized world. They don't really need a huge population. Africa's problem is it's not developed. If Europeans, 99% of them live on the grid, that means they live on less space. They use less resources because they don't have to hunt and gather and stuff like that. They live in an organized society. Unfortunately, in Africa, right, unless Africa develops and industrializes, it's really in a lot of trouble. Trust me, I'm seeing it firsthand. Africa needs to industrialize. It needs to urbanize. It needs to build new cities. It needs to build new towns. It needs to build railways, highways. It needs to build water systems. It needs to build electricity, electrical grids. It needs all these things, right? Because people cannot go back to the bush because that would be a disaster for the environment, So I don't see where Africa's population is really benefiting Africa. It'd be good if they had because you can't have 70% of the people on the continent unemployed, not doing anything, and like that. What's population? Population is only good when you're basically when people can work and they can build shit, So I don't buy that argument about the population, I don't buy that population. The Europeans have been telling us that for the longest time. If they were really serious about the population, they will help Africa develop, The way they got Africa right now is like they keep telling Africa, lower your population, lower your population. Well, how about we develop? They don't want to talk about that aspect. That's why I'm glad President Museveni is going ahead with his gas and oil pipeline. It's going to be the longest in the world from Uganda to the port in Tanzania. So basically, that's going to be a game changer. And that means goodbye environmentalists, because environmentalists with their puppets in the West, in that region of Africa, ooh, you're going to basically damage the environment. Yeah, no, fuck the environment. How about that? Fuck that. Drill, baby, drill, man. Africa's sitting on like $12 trillion worth of energy reserves, right? So the green people want to give Africa $20 million, right? To not to drill oil, not to burn coal, all these things that could make Africa a powerhouse, right? But Africa sit back there talk about some fucking solar panels and wind power. Man, get out of here with that shit. I tell people all the time, it's all about perspective, right? And the last thing they want is somebody like me on the continent, influencing Africans, They don't want me on the continent. I tell you, man, these Europeans are full of shit. I tell Africans, Europeans, don't listen to these fools, man. They want to keep you poor. They want to keep you destitute. They want to keep you backwards. They want to keep you all stuff like this, They don't want to let you develop your own skills, your own talents, your own markets and everything like that. They think that belongs to them. So don't listen to anything they got to say. And don't listen to freaking Uncle Tom leaders that they put in power over you, Like this Felix Tshisekedi, whatever the fuck his name is, of Congo, wants to give Donald Trump access to all the mineral rights in the Congo. I don't know, man. Like I said, all I know is the Congo is where my ancestors came from, hundreds of years ago to America, and we got nothing out of it. Black America, we don't own any cobalt mines. We don't own any, all that stuff like that sitting on land that I had a village on hundreds of years ago. We were uprooted, taken across the seas and whatnot, and never see our land again. And all the stuff that's there, that's rightfully ours, is being plundered by the Chinese, the Indians, the Lebanese, the French, the Belgium, and everybody else is plundering. And Americans are plunging our ancestral homeland, and we sit in America with nothing. But the black leadership is telling us how great we got it over here in America, right? Oh, we want some DEI. How about you keep your DEI? I'd rather have seaports. I'd rather have oil refineries. I'd rather have gold mines and gold refineries. I'd rather have all those things like that. I'd rather have manufacturing plants. I'd rather have those things. Whatnot. You can keep your DEI and take your DEI and stick it up your ass. I want real power. And it ain't gonna be no fucking DEI and all this kind of stupid stuff that people keep putting in my face when I hear the black so-called leadership telling us that we gotta be upset about. I don't care about your DEI. What the hell is that gonna do for me? Nothing. So it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. I like being over here, Liberia. It's just so peaceful, man. I mean, you'd be surprised. I would urge anybody, man, if you don't come on a tour with us forever, the tour is next year, next February, folks. If you're interested in the tour, let me know. Inbox me. My phone, my email address is right there on the screen. Inbox me if you're interested in going and stuff like that. I promise you, it's gonna be a time of your life, and you can meet some important people, network and stuff like that. I do believe, as far as like people who are interested in Pan-Africanism and Black nationalism, make Liberia a second home, And I always tell people all the time, I want to go over there and build like 5 houses. Look, man, you don't own a house in America. You barely got an apartment. You're living with your mom in your basement. And do what you can do. Go over to Liberia, go to a place, and just rent yourself an apartment for a year. Take like $3,500 and buy an apartment up for a year. Fix it up and everything like that. Don't worry about trying to freaking. I'm telling anybody right now. People don't like when I say this, right? I think black people getting into land and stuff like that in Africa, particularly West Africa, is a mistake because that's what they use against us. We're colonizers coming to take the land from the people or whatnot. Like, I said, Carl, how much land you got? Like, I can have a lot of land in Liberia if I wanted to, but I don't want it because I don't want that argument against me. I don't want nobody telling me that, oh, Carl's just trying to freaking uh, college is trying to friggin' colonize the native people. Let's see, slides, extra camera. I don't know how this works. Invite guests. Oh, they made some changes on the screen, so I'll let people in now. So the link in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the discussion, Deadly clowns in leadership. Why are we still listening to them? Speaking of deadly clowns, we got Sinister Farrakhan out there. Now he's running around, I don't know what he's saying nowadays, man. I just don't know. Look, think about it. You had millions of people listening to you, millions of people following you and everything like that. And then my boy, Chief Beck said, the Nation of Islam has talked about building a so-called community since the 1940s. Ain't built no community. But yeah, we look at these clowns and whatnot. I mean, we just, look, if I want a nice speech and stuff like that, get fired up and whatnot, if I want to sit back and get my doom and gloom on and whatnot and hear about the hype man and everything like that, yeah, that's good, but I think I want more than that nowadays, Let me get Wise on. All right, Wise, what's on your mind, bro?
These deadly clowns, man. I'm done listening to everybody, man. I'm just kind of like, I just listen to you. You're not trying to be a leader. You're an organizer, but I'm done listening to all these people, man. I think I started listening to him like at 30 years old. Cause like Umar Johnson, he was great at first. He started with some great information, but he just went downhill, man. I'm starting to think the rumors were true about him doing coke. He went crazy.
I never heard that one.
I
Yeah, I
heard
didn't hear that one.
they
What?
said they think he was doing cocaine because the way he would act on online, doing all that stuff.
I just think Omar personally, it's probably true, but I just think personally, when you basically are so full of yourself, right? And he actually started believing he's this Ifatunde, the Prince of Pan Africa, the most kind of stupid shit. And he was actually believing that. And the bottom line is, when you believe that and you got try to live that reality and it doesn't match up, right? It just really, really works bad for you. He just don't know when to stop. What he does, he counts on the fact that no matter what he does, like the conscious scripper, remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember him talking sweet to that transgender? They set him up on
Say,
that
sister,
show.
my queen, my queen.
Yeah, yeah, and that was a transgender. I had no idea. He knows he disappears for a minute, then come back on a new topic or something.
Yeah, it's well, no one listens to him anymore. It's really sad, but yeah, Louis Farrakhan, Nation of Islam. I never care for them, man. They have a ridiculous plan. They want America to give them 3 to 4 states. E-
The bottom line, this is what I'm talking about. The Nation of Islam, that philosophy, right? See, Malcolm was like this. Malcolm was like, yo, look, if you read Malcolm X's last speeches, he says we need a state of our own and we need to be away from America, outside of America as our future. That's what Malcolm X said. How did people start thinking about Malcolm X? Was like, he said, look, we need to build ourselves up here first. You get that. We need to clean our communities up and everything like that because we can't take over the nonsense to our new land, to this, right? But he never said, after he left the nation, he never thought that anything happened inside the United States was going to work. The
no,
white
he
man,
knew. He was the realist.
if you basically look at American history, right? America micromanages everything in this hemisphere, the Monroe Doctrine. Whether it's Puerto Rico, Cuba, Argentina, America, Mexico, America, Panama, the whole Western Hemisphere, America feels like it's its backyard. America invaded Haiti in 1915 and installed the Duvalier, overthrew a government, stole the gold. How do you think Chase Manhattan came up? They stole the gold that there was in Haiti. and basically like this. So America has been doing all this. So why would America let you build a semi-autonomous thing inside their country? You know,
I sometimes think nationalism was just one big long con. Like they were just some con artists. Like they knew that did not make sense. I think they were just leading on black people. Cause every time I talk bros in
sounds
the
like
Nation of Islam, huh?
sounds like it, right?
It's a
That's why.
long con, bro. Like their organization is a long con. Like the founder is a con artist.
Yeah, you understand something where it came from, man. Nation of Islam came from the streets. You
Or
know,
Muhammad,
it
the
came, it
mysterious
came,
man.
it came from at a time where you have lots of. The only reason why Nation of Islam is known is because the statements they made about white people. That was it. Nation of Islam was one of many cults that popped up in Black America, right? In the 30s and the 40s was a time period of Black cults in America. You had Daddy Grace, you had Father Divine, you know, yeah,
Hmm.
all kinds of temples, stuff like that, like that. The Black people, you know, were in different churches and cults and everything like that. You know, I remember when I was growing up, man, I had a uncle, right? Every week he was in something new, you know. I found it when I see he would have these things he would show everybody. He argued with the whole family. That's a thing in family. Yeah, if you're in a black family, arguing over religion is like a national pastime, you know. And the Pharisees said this, but I want to the and when he walked on the hill of Jordan, yo, so there's always some new thing, whether it's Jehovah's Witness, there was always somebody coming up with something new, you know, the Muslims, this, you know. So basically, it is a nation of Islam, just one of many things that came in Black America and left, you know.
Everybody knew the Nation of Islam was poor, man. Only a few people are making money, man.
Yeah, the bottom line is this: you cannot have like let me say you something. You cannot have an organization, man, where the people are broke and everything like that, and don't have any money and stuff like that. You know, you can't have that. You know, you can't have like this. The Nation of Islam could have made money, right, if they were business people, right? They could have made money. But the thing is, though, these people aren't business, right? They don't like modern business, right? You tell them
They
this is
don't.
what you have to do. You know, this is how you do marketing and science and stuff like that. Science
They,
markets like that. They do the same old thing: pass out newspapers, sell final calls, sell bean pies and incense on the street. You know, yeah. So
yeah,
that's
I feel sorry for them, man. I knew some brothers that
they're
were
good brothers,
involved.
man. I really feel bad for them because these are brothers that really mean something. But like I said, I saw this years ago, brother. This year was this. What year was this? This was about 1997, about 3 years after the Million Man March, right? And the media had just got in there and destroyed the Million Man March. His message just disappeared by that time, right? About 3 years or 2 years after the Million Man March, it was gone, right? So anyway, I saw this one Nation of Islam guy on a street corner, right? And he just looked like, yeah, I'm here to deliver to the deaf, dumb, and blind. And bottom line, he's out there with this. He had the same suit on for like 3 days, man. I felt bad, you know. And the bottom line, you said you had dude. He was trying to sell final calls. And one dude said, "Yo, come on, let me give final call, whatever like that." He went over there, just, yeah, how you doing? How you doing? And he was glad to get that dollar, whatever like that. And this
Yeah,
dude, fucking Mercedes or whatnot, you know. And so I said to myself, now who's the deaf, dumb, and blind one, you know?
exactly. Yeah, I knew a lot of them. I see them on the street. I was in LA, man. I mean, I buy a bean pie every now and then, but they were wearing suits that were dirty. You could tell they were like passed down, like Salvation Army suits. They were from
Yeah,
prison.
you know, there was secondhand and stuff like that. I don't
Yeah, you
really.
could tell a lot of them bros. I know they were recruit from the prison. You could tell they were just got out of prison. They were not educated. They were trying to sound smart. Yeah, brother. You know they try to talk smart. They sound stupid.
Yeah, like that Oswald Bates. You see Oswald Bates in A Living Color?
Yeah, with the kufi on his head in prison.
Yeah, that's funny. That's hilarious. And when I first saw that, man, when that first aired back in 1990, Oswald Bates, I was literally on the floor choking laughing right
Yeah,
there. That reminded me of everything I was saying, right? Yes, I remember niggas like that. They used to get on TV, sound so deep, and they'd be behind bars when not talking all deep and intellectual and shit, you know?
that's
Oswald
real.
Bates.
I know a brother like that, brother Rockman. And like you said, they're very behind, man. I feel sorry. I'm amazed that that organization's still around. But I knew a guy named Brother Rockman on a jazz guy where he lost it, but he didn't know how to do real business. Like he was very old school. He used a flip phone, and I'm like, why don't you ever use a smartphone? He's like, "Bro, brother, I'm not really into that." I said, "Brother, you need a smartphone to text people."
I had one brother, right? This was back in that was this guy. What's his name? I know his name. What's his name? Bernard or whatever. Like, I forgot his name, right? But this is a Nate. He was like, oh, at the time I was in my 20s, right? And he was older than me. He was like in his 30s. He was like 39, about to turn 40, right? And this dude was like, I was sitting there talking to this one brother about it was a time in May, March, and I had to talk to this one brother in the store, right? And he came up to me and said, "You shouldn't be saying that." I said, "What?" He goes, "All you need to do is when the messenger talks about, he's the messenger, he's anointed by God." Yeah, I said, "Yeah, but you know." And then I started talking about African nationalism. I said, "Man," he goes, "I'm an Asiatic black man and whatnot. The nation, Elijah Muhammad told me that America's our true land, and we're gonna get like 4 or 5 states when I." Yeah, Barry, that was named Barry, man. I wonder where is he at right now. I'm gonna go look him when I get back. You know, he must be real old by now. But
Yeah, man,
anyway,
they're just so caught up in their own world. It's sad though, man. They're just so lost.
yeah, it's sad. He could have been doing something, but the bottom line is you cannot do nothing if you hate your own land. You hate your Africa. You don't want to identify with being black. You know, you can't do nothing. Let's say Rudy says, "Call it deeply that blacks have a weakness for getting involved with cults." Of course they do. Right now, the cult of death in the music industry is destroying Black America. I'm seeing it right now, firsthand. Right now it's a cult of death, the cult of immaturity, the
You know,
cult of
I
foolishness.
would say rap music is the most dangerous career in the world right now. Like before
Most
police
dangerous thing,
officers,
most destructive thing. The
you
rap,
know,
rap music is more destructive than the Klan, everything ever
it
was.
is. It's
you know
so
what?
sad, man.
You know what's crazy though? It's self-genocide. I saw a stat. They said 2045 it's gonna be Asians and Hispanic gonna be the majority minorities. Black people gonna be third place in
Yeah, the
2045.
bottom line is this: we're
We
basically
dying.
in Black America is really dying a slow death, right?
Yes.
Black. There's no stable. Dr. Cole Anderson, I disagree with him on a lot of stuff.
Well,
He
why you
says,
disagree with them? I want you to.
well, a lot of stuff. Well, maybe I misquote him, or some people misquote him, right? But
Yeah.
one thing he did say recently, right? He said all the things that make up a community we don't have. He says a community lives in a certain area. They have a code of conduct. They have agreement, and then they have like a enforcement mechanism to keep people accountable for their behavior. And then they have control of the politics and economics of their area.
Yeah.
He said our communities have none of that. We have no code of conduct. We have no basic love or understanding that we're a people. That's why we got a place like Brooklyn, got Little Haiti and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People
How
just
that
talk.
happened? How they took over Brooklyn?
Well, no, the parts of Brooklyn they have like Little Haiti. It's not very hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Black Americans moved out of these neighborhoods, these are slums. These are really, really run down
Yeah.
communities. Really run down. So they come there and they compared to you gotta say something. If you're coming from Haiti, Nigeria, Senegal, whatever like that, these places are heavenly. The electricity, running water, and stuff like that. And most of these properties areas owned by Jews. Jews used to exploit Black America like that back in the days, in tenement housing. Now it's the Haitians or not. And on the surface, they let Haitians open businesses. They have their own shops, everything to keep them in the neighborhood. So they have their little, so that's why they have in Brooklyn. They have a little Haiti and whatnot. And basically, it's just a place where this is how it works. The Jewish people will go to find one person that's a prominent person in the Haitian community, right? And they'll say, yeah, something, we're going to rent you out a building right here, whatever like that. But we want more of your people to come here, right? And next thing you know, all the people know you go on 25th Street and just like that, these 4 square blocks, you can get a place to live, no questions asked. That's how they all come up in one area. And then over the time period, it effectually becomes Little Haiti, because that's where they congregated at. Where that's the way we used to do back in the day. How do you think we all ended up in Harlem? It was a place where Jews told us that you come here, you can get an apartment, no one's gonna ask you questions, no one's gonna check your credit, your references, and all that stuff like that. You can get a tenement housing, you get a roof over your head. That's how we end up in Harlem, and everything else. Well, it's Bedford Stuyvesant, Mount Vernon, whatever, like that. That's how we end up in these areas. We get lured in, by
Hey,
word of
hey,
mouth.
Kyla.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. Marcus had a good point about it. Said Latinos and Asians are gonna be like, we're gonna be third place behind them. We already kind of are, but my thing is, someone asked you a while back. Do you think we're just gonna blend in to foreign Black communities as Black Americans? Do you think eventually we're just gonna blend into their communities? What's gonna happen?
No, I know. I don't think so because racism towards Black Americans is real. Really, nobody wants to be part of us or they like our culture or whatever like that. But when it comes down to it, like in California, right, and Miami, places where Hispanics control whatever like that, Black people have it worse than when white people have it. You know, anywhere where it's Hispanics or in the majority, whatever like that, or have power, look how Black people are treated. Now that's your answer right there. Texas, whatever like that. We're not going to come together as minority groups, whatever like that. It's not going to happen.
So what's gonna happen with the foreign Blacks? They're treated pretty bad too, right?
Yeah, well, the foreign Black, you understand something that's different from them, right? Is the fact that they come over here in large numbers, right? And they move right into, like I was telling my wife, we was saying about today, right? And I was saying, because one guy, a waiter was like, had a certain haircut. I said, that's a Philly haircut, right? And she was laughing. I said, Liberians move to Philly a lot, right? And then she goes, yeah, in Minnesota and Iowa. I said, Iowa? What the fuck is niggas doing out in Iowa, They be moving to places we ain't never fucking heard of. Oh no, Adama, man. I hope he ain't fucking horny tonight like he was the other night. They be moving to places. African immigrants move to places that we don't go to. Montana, and all these other places like that. We don't go to those places, right? So they live in proximity to white society, That's why they have a different view of America than we do. Well, we have communities that we try to uphold, everybody's not going to move out of South Central LA, That's home to them, That's home to them. They're not going to move out of South Central. We got areas in America, areas that we have a stake in. As bad as Gary is, people live there. Why? Because they got a history there.
College.
Yeah.
But now you're right. Like the Somalis, they be in what is it, Minneapolis or some shit like that. They don't really be around Black Americans. They don't assimilate into Black America. The new
They don't. Most Black immigrants don't feel like they have to because we integrated America. They're benefiting from our work of integrating American society.
Yeah.
So even though we integrated America, most of us still remained in Black majority areas and stuff like that. We didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? But the African and Caribbean immigrants, they did fill those things because all the white people wanted was a Black face.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got diversity, but it's not African Americans you're bringing in. It's people from the Caribbean, all these other people like that, and they try to pretend like there's not a difference. It is a difference because people don't have a history with you as far as racism and slavery and everything,
So I think that they're trying to just diminish our numbers so they could forget about slavery and Jim Crow.
Exactly. They want to create, what they want to do is create a new a Black narrative in America.
Yeah.
America is not only based on Black people came here via the slave trade.
Yeah.
There's also large numbers of Black people came here voluntarily.
Yeah.
In fact, they said more Black people came here voluntarily than were actually brought over as slaves.
What? What?
Think about this.
No, it's true. He's right.
Who said that?
This is the notion they're advancing out there. I'm trying to tell you, that's why you got to listen to the College Genesis, right? Look how dangerous this is, right? 500,000 Black people actually came from Africa or the Caribbean to the shores of America, 13 colonies, 500,000, right? Out of that, within two generations, our population went to like 5 million, But those are people that were bred inside of Black America was mostly bred inside of America. My ancestors came from Africa in the 1600s, right? But the majority of Black people in America, that your ancestors came from America. That means that you have many generations here. In the Caribbean, you got people in Caribbean. They're only like a couple generations in because they kept bringing people from Africa to the Caribbean. But in America, got a way how to breed us. So, but
Now
they're saying the actual black people, even though you could say, well, look how many black African American descents here. Yeah, we are the majority, like 45 million, right? But they said initially, even though they'll say, well, you guys were bred here, y'all could have left. We're not. They said they'll still say the majority of black people in this country are descended from people who came here voluntarily. No, we're still a majority, but they said the initial number of people who came here slavery is much lower than the people who came here by airplane. That's what they're saying.
that's crazy.
Also, they want to take that scar with slavery off. They say because it's a big scar in America.
That's
I mean,
what it's all about, and that's why they got people like Chukwu, Afro Dumbass, and all these other people. That's what they work in concert with people like that. America wants to get rid of. America has one thing that it wants to get rid of is friggin' that stigma of its slave history. Instead of doing the right thing with black people, come to a settlement. You don't want us here. Let it help us build our own nation. Get us out of here. Whatever like that. Give us reparations. Give us the fuck out of here. Right? They want to keep us here and just slowly destroy us.
Yeah, see, white people don't like history. They don't like we do an historical on it because they cannot evade responsibility.
Yeah, they don't like history at all.
It's like if you try and get rid of African slavery, then fine, just admit that you didn't drop atomic bombs on Japan. Just say that.
But
it didn't happen.
You know what's crazy though? They trying to see white people in America want to look like Captain America. You understand? So they want to get rid of the people that they fucked over, the Native Americans and the Black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So they already got rid of Native Americans. You can't find them like that. I feel like in the future, the only place you can find like black people from America is like in the deep South, like Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama.
And they want black people in America to walk away from the identity. Like I tell people all the time, I'm African American, 100% slave descendant in this country. I'm not walking away from that. I'm not going to bow down. We're not. That's a political statement. And my ancestors were brought here against their will. Take it how you want to take it. That's the truth. Right? I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm not going to suddenly become a Nigerian and shit.
Hell no.
I'm not going to become a Sierra Leonean. I'm not going to become a Ghanaian.
Nope.
I'm not going to become a Liberian. No. I'm African American. That's something they got to fucking deal with. That's what I'm saying. So you got something you just have to fucking deal with. However it goes down, fine. But I'm sick of trying to appease white people. You're like, oh, like which one? I'm out tonight. Me and my wife was in a nice restaurant called Maserado. Club Maserado, a nice fucking place. I mean, this place is fucking. You can tell ancestors, man. They had nice restaurant. All these people doing is rebuilding what was already there, right? They renovated this place. It is fucking nice. They even got a fucking hibachi bar in there, And you get to pick out your fish that you want in the thing, and they fry it, they grill it for you. It was expensive, but it was good. But when I was coming in, I got a video. I didn't post it. Like, all these white people were fucking leaving, man. I was like, God damn, man. It's fucking. I guess because a lot of officials and dignitaries come to this place. It's really nice, exclusive, right? Last night going out with my wife, so we wanted to go someplace nice. Anyway, look over there. This fucking white girl sitting there with this black girl, or whatever, like that. Let me tell you something. They're here in Africa, right? They're here in Africa. They know something. There's a lot of white. When I came here 4 years ago, there wasn't a lot of white Americans. Now there is. They know something. See, white people think way ahead of time. They do their homework. They think they're not sitting on the internet talking about Ubuntu and shit like that. They're over in the fucking place. They're. If you see them in Iceland, they're there for a reason. You see them in Antarctica, they're there for a reason. You see them in Japan, they're there for a reason. They're constantly hunting and scouting out places for their race to survive. But a black man doesn't do that,
We like to be stagnant.
No, we do that. Wait, hold on. Let me say this, Carla. We do that. We got a lot of. Wait, hold on, Carla. Let me say this. We got a lot. Brother Carla. Let me say this. We got a lot of brothers out there.
Have you done that?
Yes, I have. But you got to let me respond. You got a lot of brothers out there in Colombia right now.
Okay.
You got brothers in Japan. You got brothers in Brazil, Thailand, the UAE. Okay, we out there, and a lot of these brothers, a lot of them work in tech. Like a lot of them are in the tech industry. We out there. You know what I mean? Like this idea that
they go over the trick.
It's not. It's
Tricking.
not
They
about
don't build
tricking.
nothing over there.
No, it's not about tricking. It's these
Hell no,
brothers.
bro.
These brothers in Colombia, right? They got wives. They got families down there. They got houses.
And
These
they
brothers in
trick.
Brazil, that they got businesses.
When I
It's, you
say
know what I mean. Why do you guys? Why would you guys want to put brothers down when they go outside of the
Because they
country?
don't build nothing like the
I
white
don't
boy.
I don't see the point to that.
They don't build nothing. They're not building nothing,
But
and those countries not
these
taking
are
over
still
nothing.
these are still your brothers,
I
and
know.
they are building.
I got partners that could do that shit, but they're not building nothing like the white boy.
They building a lot of stuff down out there. They got companies, they got businesses out there, they got all type of stuff out
I
there.
gotta look into it. I don't want to shoot you down, my brother, because you might have a good point. I know we look at like the passport bros, like, oh, they's out there tricking, but you might be right. We gotta look deeper because they might be out there building. Because unfortunately, it's a stereotype, but they might actually be doing something. You're
Yeah,
right.
and see, here's another thing. There was a brother over on I don't like. I mean, I know the title of the channel, is triggering, but the truth is, they talk about a lot of tech stuff over there. Over on the International Passport channel, I think he's a black British brother. He does a lot of content about brothers going overseas and doing different things. But he said he interviewed one brother that went to Cuba, and I wish he would go back and bring that brother back, because he said that brother, he was an African brother that went to Cuba to participate in a boxing program. He went and trained at a boxing gym in Cuba, and he helped train a lot of the younger Cubans and stuff while he was out there. But he said while he was there, he saw he noticed that there's a tech industry out there in Cuba, and he said it's a lot of Afro-Cuban brothers working in that tech industry. And he said he came into contact with those brothers when he was there. So this idea that a lot of our people are building out there, we just got to go
You talking about
and
America?
research and yeah.
African Americans.
No, it's black people in general, but just the fact that you have a Afro tech industry in Cuba, that's something that the media over here is not going to tell you about. You got to go out and
We
find that
talking about
out yourself.
we're talking about African Americans though. What are they
And it's the
building
same
outside
thing.
the
You
country?
got all kind of African Americans, all in Colombia, all in Brazil, that have businesses. A lot of these brothers are in tech. Okay, they're in AI. They're making a quarter of $250,000 a year out there doing contract
where the
work.
mining companies at? I want these
Okay,
niggas to take over like
and
how the
it's not just tech. It's not just tech, but you got a lot of brothers out there doing big things, and you know what I mean. This idea, that's all the point I was just trying to make. But I didn't mean to.
I understand
Go
where you're
ahead,
coming
brother.
from. I understand where you're coming from, but like when other group of people come, like Indians, when they come to America, they here to take over some shit. When the Arabs come, they here to take over some shit. You know what I'm saying? We not a conquering people like that. We go to have fun, fuck around, and party. We got a headbang. I'm talking about black men. I'm talking about African American men, black American men.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to change that narrative.
The last time we did that was Liberian shit. We got American dollars. Why the hell we not going to take over some shit? That's my thing.
Black America can easily be a major power in this region right here with that U.S. dollar and stuff like that. It's just unreal. I'm starting an export business in Liberia. I'm doing a couple other things and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I'm just showing the way. So
Yeah.
and I got a house here. I got a house here. I've been playing myself here. I got a house now. I don't have to freaking come here and stay in hotels when I got a house, a resident. All I need now is a car.
Yes, indeed.
I'm good. I'm established here. I want to see more black people like doing this stuff.
Yes, indeed.
House in another country. I'm well organized in a community. I got networks and everything like that. And I'm well established here in Liberia. Really, I am.
How's the leasing plan out there, Carla? Is it like 100-year lease? How's it work out there with the land, with the buying homes and stuff?
Well, no, the thing is, let me tell you something. I'll be honest with you, right? And a lot of people ain't gonna like what I say like this. Leave that leasing land shit alone. That's how the bank family's in trouble. That's how everybody get in trouble with that leasing land shit. If you come to Africa, right, just if somebody got a house to rent, you got a lot of people that own nice houses here. The way they build houses over here are nice. houses are built to last forever. They're built in cinder block and concrete and stuff like that, and they're built to last forever, you can remodel them and shit like that. You got a nice house with new appliances, remodel. That's all you need. Just rent the house, rent it, right? Until you get ready to seriously say, this is where I want to be, and I got a career, I got money and stuff like that. But I know most black people in America, when they go to Africa, right? This is what's back. They spend all their money buying, leasing land, buying and building a house and whatnot, and all that's in the negative, right? Instead of saying, something, I want to live in Ghana, right?
Yeah.
But we try to have a lot of land. Let me fucking just rent a house for somebody, and be done with it, You go ahead, man, and be done with it. And therefore, I can enjoy the country. I can basically do it, and I'm saving a lot of money. I can invest my money in some other business project, But black people put all their money like this. This is another thing I don't like is people like this. People basically go to Africa and they don't have anything in America, And Liberia is a good idea because in Liberia they have a modern land system like America, right? But they have deeds like this. So basically, what you can do if you have a mortgage over here in America and you got equity in your house, you could to build a 2-story house in Liberia. It's only like $35,000 for a brand new house,
and you own it.
And you own it. Yeah, it's your property. No lease or nothing.
Nobody could take it.
Nobody could take it. It's yours. As long as you pay your property taxes. Now in Liberia, what a lot of Liberians are doing is smart. They don't tell a lot of black Americans. We take over the country. We knew this, right? They getting second mortgages and they're going back to Liberia. And they got new planned communities and developments popping up in Liberia that look nice. Gated communities, everything like that. Nice. You think, you look at in America, these same houses were going for like $300,000. In Liberia, they go for like 45 top. And so therefore, but still though, you have to put in work. That means you have to own something in America, right? And many people I'm seeing going to Africa never owned a home in America. They don't have any money like the Bag family. I feel bad for them, They had a dream. But Africa's not for dreamers, man, not for dreamers. I wouldn't have went there. If I was a Bag family, I don't know. That's what they wanted to do, man. But Ricky's in a lot of trouble right now, with this gun charge he got, He's in a lot of trouble, I don't know. So, in case you guys didn't hear.
Do you have connections to in Liberia to I guess resources like people that could help you
I got connections with everything. That's what my company does. My corporation do. We help people if they want property, they want land, buy a house. We get you a lawyer. We get you all that stuff. Everything to do. Okay. But that's what I do. We do in Liberia. We help people establish, legally and stuff like your paperwork, your business license, whatever like that, incorporate, whatever you want to do. All the paperwork, you get a lawyer. What you want to do is before you do something, you get a lawyer. And we have some of the top law firms in our network. And when I say lawyer, I mean lawyer will tell you everything you need to know about buying a piece of property in Liberia. Everything. And by the time you buy it, he'll give you your paperwork and everything. And he'll ship it to you DHL. Or you can come to Liberia and get it. So, but the bottom line is, yes, there's a lot of opportunity here. Like I said, I don't recommend any other country because I don't believe in that lease shit. If you're a country that have only lease you land, just fucking rent. Just tell them, okay, I'll lease you land, build a house on there, and I'll rent from you.
Kala, I heard that because they was talking about what you saying about because when you go to Ghana and stuff, you got a lease from these chiefs and stuff like that. And there was a brother. I don't know if you said it, Kala. I don't know if it was someone said. They was talking about Liberia, and they said the brother asked, how come you have to lease in Ghana, but in Liberia you can just buy land? And he said, well, because back in the day in Liberia, the president, he invited all those chiefs to a party. And they said at the end of that party, he invited all those chiefs into a room and they had all of them tied up and then they slit all their throats.
What?
No, it ain't like that.
Yeah. That's how they got down. No, that's a documented
They
thing.
slit
And then
their
what
throat.
happened was,
I studied.
they got them niggas up out of there.
Oh no.
That's why. No, that's why when you go to Liberia, you can
Oh
own
no.
freehold property.
No, that's
You
not
don't.
what happened.
You ain't got to worry about no.
What
Dude,
the
man.
hell? They slit their throat?
I can't have nobody sitting there and tell that nonsense. I'm the expert on Liberia. You know, I'll tell you if that happened. No, that did not happen. You know, what happened in Liberia was this: our ancestors, right, made all these tribes and everything like that, beat them in war, then signed peace treaties, and said, you know something, we protected our Constitution in Liberia protected their lands, right? We had two rules: you cannot sell no land to white people, right? And you cannot invade other people's lands, right? They'll say there's three types of land in Liberia. There's government land. This is land that the government says is ours right here. That's tribal land. There's private property. You know, private property with individuals own property with deeds like that. There's private property. There's government land, and there's tribal land. You know, so therefore, what happened was every year the paramount chief would come, since the President Howard, and swear their allegiance to the government, the support for the government, and the paramount chiefs were on the government's payroll. They were paid, you know, and what they did was administer their own people under tribal law, except for serious cases. They administered the people under tribal law, you know, and so but people, they could not restrict their people from moving into the cities where they lived in the modern Liberia, you know. And then then after World War II, the two areas combined, and the tribal areas became counties, you know. And so those became private property and government property, you know. That's what happened in Liberia, you know.
See, people be having conflicting stories because, like, when people want to downplay Liberia, they say like we enslaved the Liberians and we
That's
did
a
crazy
bunch of nonsense and
you
whatnot.
know,
It doesn't make any logical sense and whatnot. You know, if you come to Liberia, right, you could see it. You could just see. We just have to come here and just see what our ancestors were able to build was remarkable. You know, this country was beautiful at one time. It still is. You drive down Tubman Boulevard, you think you're in Manhattan. You know.
When is your next tour?
Next year.
I'm down. Shit, I'm down.
Well, you got a year to come up with your 4,500. You got to give
I'm
the
good.
money deposit, you know, by the summer, you know.
All right.
You know, like this, you know, you gotta give that my information's in the screen.
Yes.
Send me your phone number.
All right.
By email if you're interested.
All right.
But that's where we are, you know. But I ain't gonna let people talk about nonsense about that. They slipped the chief's throat. We didn't do nothing like that. It was nothing fucking stupid, you know. All right, Jonathan Miller, what's on you? I'm disappointing you, Jonathan. You didn't make it to Liberia, man.
I'm disappointed in you. You said you was gonna stay for 2 months.
What?
2 months. You said we was gonna stay for 2 months. You said you was gonna stay for 2 months.
No, I'm only staying 1 month, man. That's all. You know, I gotta get back to work, man. Can't stay here for 2 months. I'll stay here for work. I don't. And also, you have to know, I don't stay here during rainy season. I'm out of here. Rainy season. April's rainy season. I'm out. What I'm going to do is come back in September. I'm coming back in September. You know. Until September, and then I'll stay for like 3 weeks in September. Now coming back in February for a tour. So we're rocking and rolling. Yeah, lease is not a good land. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line, people will say, oh, they cut. Look, the bottom line is this: Ghana is still a country based on feudalism. You know, Liberia was a modern republic, you know, owned by black people. You know, they built the same sort of society they knew in America, right, with private property, land. Now the same native people, right, are turning their traditional land into private property. They go in there and taking somebody have 100 acres of land, right? Next thing you know, he gets that land turned into deeds, whatever like that. And overnight, he's rich. There's a lot of native Liberians that are rich right now. Why? Because they have land. You know, they're taking their tribal land. Like this one guy, I met the other day, right? He recognized me in the one Lebanese spot, right? He goes, "Yo, aren't you called Genesis?" I said, "Yeah, man." He goes, "I remember you, bro. I finally get to meet you, right?" He goes, "I remember you from Dynasty Show." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, you used to fucking be killing people with those debates and whatnot, you know?" I was like, yeah. He goes, "Yo, college Genesis, man. Let me buy you a drink, man." Like, no way. So he insists on buying my pineapple juice and water. So I said, all right, so I let him buy it, whatever, like that. But he says, thing is, like, he was born in Newark, New Jersey, right? Born in Newark, New Jersey, right? But because he's a Pelly man, he got about 100 acres of land in Bond County, right? Which he's growing palm oil and all stuff like this, This is inherited. He just came back in 2000, he said 2020. And it was his land that's been his family, He's able to get commercial enterprise and he's doing really well, And I said, see, that's the advantage they have over us, Liberians, native Liberians. Now you can own land in Liberia, but it's almost impossible to have land like he does. There's a lot of America owning land, but it's going to cost you.
So you want to start a business or buy a business in Liberia?
You could do that.
Like,
anybody could own a business in Liberia.
like a cashew farm or some shit, a palm oil farm. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, what you call my boy Great African got a palm oil farm watching his operation. Yeah, you can own a palm oil farm, but it takes some money though. You got to have a distribution. You got a warehouse. It takes a lot. It's an operation. You got to do it, man. If you got the money,
what's the capital?
You got the capital. You could do a lot of things in Liberia if you got money. You got money in Liberia. Everything money. If you got money.
What's the capital per se? Like,
just think about this. If you're gonna do palm oil,
yeah,
you gotta get that grinder, right? And Liberia said, my boy Greg African said, the one they bought from China wasn't that good, so some engineers and technicians copied the specs and made it. It's a grinding thing that grinds the palm oil and stuff like this. He has a warehouse. He has nurseries and everything like that. They basically have an operation that works 24 hours. He has a boiler. His operation works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, And the bottom line is, every time he fills the warehouse up with palm oil, it goes right to the market, whatever like that. He brings the jugs back and he fills them up again. Boom, boom, boom. But he's making money. He's in a positive right now. He says every month, now he introduced certain types of onions and peppers from Jamaica, because his wife's Jamaican, to Liberia.
All right.
So he's doing really well. Great African that was on the show last week. He's doing really well. There's a lot of people go good at farming, and you can't go wrong with rubber farming. That's another one that's good, But rubber farming takes you, if you're gonna plant rubber trees, it'll take you 7 years before the trees start bearing rubber. Years. 7. You can plant a whole field of rubber trees, right? But it takes about 7 years for the trees to mature like a rubber. But then what you do is you grow, do the rubber, pay the rubber tappers, right? You get about a pound, and then you take the thing and sell it to Firestone or whatever like that. My brother Sam wanted to start a rubber processing business, right, where he could monopolize the rubber trade by buying all the rubber from the tappers. You got a lot of independent tappers there. A lot of stuff in Liberia.
It's like the Wild West. It's definitely a golden opportunity. Well, shit.
The other thing that they need in Liberia is hotels. And even though we got tons of hotels, it's still not enough. Hotels and guest houses. Always Airbnbs. They're really definitely in demand.
You said hotel, but what's the what is it? I guess like how Nigeria has Dirty December. What's the event, or an event that could, I guess, get a lot of people to Liberia per se, or whatever?
Liberia, a lot of stuff. People go whatever it is. There's a lot of people here, a lot of foreigners here.
I know that, but black people in America, they very extravagant people. They need
the event here is Liberia has a club scene. That's probably the best club scene in the world.
The best one in the world.
Even on the block I live on, there's 4 clubs. There's plenty of neon. All you see is clubs with loudspeakers and neon lights all over the place. Every place is a club. They're all not only that, you got tonight the Calabash is closed, right? I went there and closed, so we got another place. The Cowboys is the best club in the world. That's the best club in the world, you know.
Best club in the
We were
world.
closed tonight, so we went to a place else. We tried this other place called Mazzarano Lounge. You know, it was nice, you know, over the water. But yeah, there's club scene, clubs, and the nightlife here is off the fucking chain. You know, I don't party like that, but if you're in the party, people come to Monrovia, it's always been like that. Monrovia's always been a place of partying and stuff like that, and lively street life, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, people my age range, when they go to Africa, you know, they want that extravagant lifestyle, you know, Ghana.
Liberia's that place. Liberia's that place, you know, nice everything, man. It's just friggin' nice place to live, nice place to be. You
All
know,
right,
really nice, pleasant country to live in.
Is the current what is it? Rob Johnson? What's his name? Bob, the BET dude. Does he still do business in Liberia?
No, he sold that. He's the people who manage it now are Ghanaians.
Oh,
RLJ Kendija. I always go there sometimes for lunch. I
all right,
stayed there. We stayed there on a tour last year.
all right.
But yeah, he basically relinquished control of that to the Liberians and Ghanaians. You know, he the lady that helped him put that together. I met her the other day, Cynthia Blanford. You know, out of Atlanta, Georgia. She's in Liberia now. I met her the other day. You know, she was the one who put it together with Bob Johnson, the Fly Delta and the Canadian Resort. She was the one who put that together. And I was with her the other day. She's the one that publishes International Focus magazine. Hopefully, I'm gonna be featured in an article soon. You know.
Yeah. And I guess one more question. I guess what do you see Liberia? I guess within 20 years or some shit like 20, 30
Well, if
years.
this keeps going the way it is right now, you know, like I said, the only problem in Liberia is a political situation. You know. I really don't like. I don't like democracy. You know, I really don't like.
Don't? Why?
No,
Why?
because you have to understand from my point of view, right?
Yeah.
A country that's vulnerable, right? And Liberia's history like that. You can't have a bunch of people making decisions who don't know what's going on. You know, like when the government has to make tough decisions and everything. See, Ibrahim Traore is saying this is what we're going to do. And that's it. His word is law. For that, he's able to build a factory processing tomatoes. You know, first time in their history. Same time, Ghana don't have that. You know, Ghana's spending money on a fucking cathedral. That's democracy. Ibrahim Traore, when you have a government that's basically look at India and look at China. China has one political party, CPP, and look how advanced it is.
Yeah.
India basically
A shit show.
Of poverty, has 400 million people, one of the highest poverty rates in the world, right? And it has democracy. Democracy don't work. If you have a government that basically can make decisions and say, this is the rules, boom, 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 you get stuff done. When you have democracy and everything like that, you got every idiot out there putting stuff out there, misleading people and stuff like that, you know, everything like that. Basically, it is, and people get in power. Look, I'm watching it in Liberia. I watched over the years, right? Dudes that I used to argue with on Facebook, dudes that got a 4th grade education, right? Make enough noise on Facebook, but next thing you know, they're appointed to being ministers. I know a lot of them. You know, that's democracy.
Popularity wins.
Popularity. You cannot have that, you know? You cannot have that when you're developing, you know?
So what would you like, I guess, Liberia to be? I guess
well, I mean, Liberia is what it is. I'm good with it right now.
Okay.
I'm good with that because this is not my fucking reality, you know?
Yeah.
This is not my reality, but I could not make this my permanent country because the country, in my estimation, is dysfunctional. Look, this area is in Black America. I would not live in for that same reason.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know?
They keep voting the same motherfucking.
7 cities, right? For that reason, I wouldn't live in Norfolk.
Yeah.
You know, I would not live in Norfolk, you know.
I
live in Long Beach. I would not live in Norfolk, you know.
Yeah. They're like New Orleans. I want to live in New Orleans.
There, you know.
Yeah. They keep voting the same motherfuckers in.
Yeah. So that's what people want to do it. Hey, more power to you. If that makes you happy, that's fine, you know, but you cannot make decisions over me. I like having my trash picked up. I like having things organized. I like
You
having
like
nice
having
vehicles.
infrastructure.
I like having infrastructure. I like being able to know that I can go any time of the night. I can go to Royal Farm and get me a 2-piece chicken at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I can go get some gas at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't have to wait till the next day because I live in a city so full of crime and violence and everything like that. But that's the reality in most black areas, you
Yeah,
know.
Mississippi and Alabama too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't
Yeah.
want to live in. I don't want to live in that shit. You know, I really don't. You
Trust me,
know,
don't. I know.
I don't want to live in that shit. You know, people say, "Oh, college," and like I said, you know, this is. And people ask, "Well, why immigrants? Black immigrants the same way. They don't want to live around that shit." You know, they come from countries where things are chaos and everything like that. So of course they're gonna be more comfortable in white suburbia. That's what you gonna have going on.
Mm.
They come in and move into white suburbia because they don't want to. It's not like they don't like being around black people. It's like me. The reality is, man, you know, I worked hard. I want a quality of life, man. You know, how am I gonna sacrifice my quality of life to appease somebody? You know.
I already know. I already know.
Maruti says people are served to live in societies that have free press and civil rights. I would call it well, okay. You really believe that we got a free press and civil rights? You really believe that, Maruti?
Where's he
No, it don't
from?
work
Where's
like that.
Baruti from?
Check this out. If he's from New York, check this out.
Right from me.
If
Okay.
you really believe that, right, that we have free press and civil rights, I got a bridge to sell you. There is no real black national news network, right? Everything you hear from black people is from another person's point of view.
From white boys, white people.
Yeah, from white liberals and everything. There's no freaking black. They suppress media. Like, for example, I think black people going to Africa, doing business in Africa is a big news, right? I think it's a big story. Why is that being suppressed? You know, like Black America's going to Africa, opening tours, opening hotels, other shit like that. Like Bob Johnson, right? Why they cover that up with him?
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me we got a free press? No, we don't. Media basically is skewed, you know, a certain way. You know, why is it that basically everything is about civil rights, integration, color blindness, or not? What about black nationalist politics, you know, in Black America? Why do they always delegitimize black nationalism? You know, are you going to tell me, Brew, that we live in a free press? No. The press is controlled by a few people that create a narrative, you know? That's why I said I know I'll be successful because I know they're going to do everything they can to suppress me and whatever like that. So I'll be like floating on the radar. You know, there ain't no black people wanting no Afghanistan, you know? Okay. They pretend you don't exist and everything, you know? All they do is focus on a few people. Al Sharpton. That's what they do. They create people like Al Sharpton, and people think Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump. These people are where our discussions are. But you're on social media. Do you see anybody quoting Al Sharpton?
You say Al Sharpton? Hell no.
You don't see nobody quoting none of
I
these people.
don't know how he. I don't even know how he's still popular. Shit.
He's
I
not
thought the
popular.
motherfucker died.
Media basically chose him as it's called manufactured opposition. You know, okay, black people, you want to be radical or not? We know you're discontent, so we'll give you somebody to be discontent with. You know, Al Sharpton. You know, that's all that is. There's no freaking. Please, come on. There's no fucking. They control. It's called controlled opposition. They create these people, Al Sharpton, Farrakhan, all these other people to
All that
mislead.
shit. Yeah.
Also
Sure.
control, you know,
Yeah.
all control opposition, you know. They know
So
exactly what they're gonna say, they know how far they can go, whatever like that.
let me
Trust me, it's all controlled.
let me ask you another thing. What would be a sustainable population for Black Americans in Liberia? Like, what would be to you if this shit, if America, hold on, if America were to fall or some shit, what would be a sustainable population?
I'm like this. Any population where, well, I think, right, in my personal opinion, right, now there's two things you could do, right? There's communities of Liberians that are returning to Liberia, building their own communities where they look nice, right? And they basically have similar culture of Black Americans. They lived in America, you know. We could go build with them, you know, or basically is like I said, do we have Black developers?
We do.
If we have Black developers, right? And then all of a sudden the developers, how to get Black people, like you said, to go to the continent, right? You know, okay, what are people gonna do for work?
Yeah.
Now, who's targeting? Retired people?
Yeah.
You know,
Now you
most
got.
people in 20s and 30s, that's the money making years. What exactly are
Yeah.
you gonna do? You know, now if you said, now here's a project. Listen to this.
Yeah.
One of my partners, Val Thompson, he lives in Liberia. He's Cynthia Blanford's husband.
Mm.
He said he's part of it. He does like several trade missions to bringing African American investors over. Sooner or later, one of these things is going to pop, right? And I always said, we need, when you build something, right? Go to a group of people need to go something. You need a leader. You need a leader, right? You know who the leader has to be? Somebody like Timothy Hightower of Hightower Petroleum. That's a leader.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
somebody like David Stewart, Worldwide Technologies. That's a leader. You
Yeah.
need a major investor. And then you have secondary, tertiary, and all the fiduciary, whatever, and everything down the line, right down to
Yeah.
the common worker. The problem is a lot of these movements going back to Africa are led by people who don't have any money, skills, or anything like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Now you have to get, how do we get people like David Stewart and all these people, Robert Smith, and anybody else who's big with money to invest in building in Africa? You know, it's got to be attractive. You know, like he said, there's a railway line being built in Liberia that's going to connect Liberia to the interior with Burkina Faso. That's going to be big. Burkina Faso, that's going to be there's a rail line being built. You know. So Liberia will be a seaport. Now, in that area right there will be an excellent place to manage for international trade and business and everything. That could bring jobs, businesses, and everything like that, investments in the country. It doesn't have to be Black-owned businesses, right? It could be anybody that basically says, oh, I'll hire people to work there and everything. And that's an opportunity for young Black people to come there and work, live in the continent, you know?
Yeah.
So that can happen.
You can fund that through HBCUs.
Yeah, you can do a lot, you know. Or even building a new college, building a new HBCU in Liberia. That would be a nice thing instead of going. We got an HBCU in the Virgin Islands, you know. So, like I said, imagine if we get Liberian universities up to HBCU standards. I become a member, so we can basically build colleges over there, tech schools, where like that, whatever, you know. But there's a lot of opportunity in the country, but you got to have leadership on both sides, the Liberian side and the Black American side, you know. And the Black, we can't be scared to do it. Like I said, there's too much scared Black people out here, you know. LeBron James, $50 million in Detroit. I mean, I get that, but I would much rather invest in, if he took that $50 million and invested in Liberia. That'd be better. You know what I'm saying?
You know, but
return on investment investing in Detroit. You know, people feel like we got to invest in Detroit. I got to invest in Houston. I got to invest in the hood.
No, we go with that. What interests me though is we say it was like the deep south. I'm like, shit, you get them people up in the country. You understand? I got people up in the country that got money and land. And shit, they know how to work that land. You need to get that. Get them people in the country, like talking about in the deep south. You understand? And they gonna know how to work that land in Liberia.
People that can farm and do stuff like that.
They got them. They got them.
Farming, cattle ranching, and all stuff like that. Stuff, farming, dairy operations, and all stuff like that.
You need them. You need them type of people.
The local and regional markets enough, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so the local market, everything in Liberia is in demand. You know, onions. They just recently started growing onions in the country because onions are so in demand. They were importing them. Now they're growing them here. You know. So everything is in demand. Whatever you grow, trust me, it'll sell. You know. The thing is, I ask people about coffee. Liberia is not coffee drinkers, though. You know, I say coffee. They said, "Nah, we don't drink coffee." Even though coffee grows wild there, there's not a market for coffee here. One thing I do like about Uganda was Rwanda is that they were selling coffee, like bags of their coffee, marketing, you know, finished product to coffee houses and stuff like that all over the world, brand new own product. That's good, you know. I asked a question of Chukwu. I said, You know, Shuko, I would love to see it. You tell me how successful Nigerians are. I would love to go in a store, man, and get some cereal made in Nigeria. You know, I like to go to the auto parts store, look at a friggin' engine part made in Nigeria. Whatever. All I see is made in Taiwan, made in China. You know what I'm saying?
But look what DK said. Look
You know
what
what I'm
DK.
saying?
They said the natives don't want Black Americans taking over the industries. They rather Lebanese or
Well,
anybody else.
no, not necessarily. What you call it. The problem is in Liberia, like I said, they don't mind Black Americans there, but the whole thing is though, is uh, is is the fact that when you go there, you have to. Liberians have this thing, and people have to understand this, right? It's not enough to be Black in Liberia. Your business has to be Liberian owned. You know, that's what they look at. They would say, "Oh, it's Liberian owned." I'd be like, "Tell what's Black owned? It doesn't matter if it's
He
Black
said we
owned.
gotta be on. But I
You have to
think
be
we need like
Liberian."
a whole group of black. I ain't gonna lie, we need like a whole group of Black people to go because I don't know what happened like a couple years, a couple decades ago. They killed them
Oh
people on
yeah,
the
we need
beaches.
large
Like I don't know
numbers. We
about all
need
that.
large numbers.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
also, recently, Liberia just 2 days ago passed a thing where citizens could carry weapons, handheld weapons, and everything like
What?
that.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah. So you could protect yourself on your property, everything like that. So yeah, we do a nice thing. We could have our own security units, our own militia, and everything. Yeah, we good.
All right.
Really good. So look, in Liberia, like I said, the one thing about Liberians, they're very peaceful. They're very peaceful and everything like that. So, I mean, underneath the surface on social media, you hear a lot of stuff like, "Oh, Black Americans taking over." When you meet them in real life, they don't care about that shit. When they see another Black person coming here and whatnot, they want to be part of it. You know, Really, they want to be part of it. That's all that is. On social media, you'll hear all that. Oh, Black Americans, blah blah blah. But that's only on social media. You come to Liberia, it's like the country belongs to you. That's how it is. You know. I know I'm not trying to sell. Look, DK, I'm not trying to sell Liberia. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I'm honest as possible. I mean, yeah, you got to basically be careful. If you go over there with the wrong attitude, whatever like that, and not clear about what you're saying, you just gotta watch your back, watch your back. Because there's still that sentiment out there of people who resent Black America, resent the American Liberians and stuff like that. It's still out there, I admit it. You're still out there, but when you're strong like me, everything like that, respect you, and they liking you, because the way I carry myself, the way I carry myself. But if you come to them, one thing you never do is to Africans and look like you're scared. You never go to Africans and look like you're intimidated by them or scared of them or unsure about yourself. You act like that, you are finished. Africans respect strength. That's the only thing they respect is strength and force. But if you come in like, oh yeah, man, I'm sorry what my ancestors did. I know we did. Get the fuck out of here. I always say, yeah, my ancestors are the best thing that ever happened to this land. I'll tell them right to their face. They don't have nothing to say. Nothing they have to say. And only people you got to really worry about are these stupid American Liberian types who are apologists, for their ancestors. Then I had an argument with this guy about to smack him in the airport a couple of years ago. Well, see, we came over there with the slave. I said, what the hell are you talking about? I said, so you basically want to talk about your country that your ancestors founded, right? But you just told me that you're retired from the U.S. Navy. Make that make sense. You're retired from the U.S. Navy, swore allegiance to the American flag, but after everything America's done, you was able to swear allegiance to America, but your own country, you want to hold it to some high standard, some unrealistic standard. Your ancestors tried to do their best to survive in Africa. There was no coming back to America. There was no support from America. They had to survive in Africa. It wasn't no Disneyland picnic. When you come at to them like that, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about, Don't tell me about that. I know. See, like I said, when you're a real Black nationalist and Pan-Africanist, I don't want to hear that shit. You know, when it comes down to, I always know who's the real enemy is. It's the fucking white man. You know, and a lot of these people basically like always basically try to make other black people the enemy. I hate that shit. Go ahead, Ahmed.
Not bad, man. Man, how y'all doing today, man?
Doing good. No
Good.
long.
Oh.
Get to the point, bro. What's on your mind?
Nothing really. It's just typical subject, man. Nothing really. It's just, just go with the flow, man. Just go with the flow.
Where you from? You Nigerian?
Nah, hell no, man. I can't never be Nigerian, man. No disrespect to them,
What are you?
man.
But I had no problem with Nigerian. I watched a video the other day. This Nigerian guy's white guy asked him, "Who's the richest country in Africa?" He goes, "We're Nigeria, the giant of Africa." The white guy said, "No, you're not. You know, yes, we
Those
are.
people, man. Those people, they gotta stop calling themselves giant of Africa, man. They gotta stop.
I mean, that's the biggest joke on the fucking
they
planet.
gotta stop calling themselves giant of Africa. It started because of they had a president. His name was Obasanjo. Obasanjo was a short guy and very egotistic and proud. That's where Nigerians started becoming like super proud and very egotistic. So they got that mentality from Obasanjo. Obasanjo was the one that planted the giant of Africa in their head.
Yeah, the whole thing is, like I said, look, I would love to see Nigeria get to that role, but when I'm sitting in Virginia, right, where I live at, right, Port Norfolk is the 5th largest port in North America, right? Sometimes I go near Port Norfolk, or I go to where the rail yards, or where the bay enters, in Ocean View, whatever like that. And I watch ships coming in, right? And I watch those carts, ships getting unloaded on the trains and stuff like that. And the what's it called? The carts, the containers. And I see names like Patel, Yang, and Sasaki, whatever like that, right? I never seen an African name on any of those fucking containers. What is coming in from Nigeria that's basically of any value to America? Nothing. So why does Nigerians think that we believe they're so rich? Nigeria's GDP is only $500 billion. That's less than 1/4 of New York City. So
Only 500 billion.
Yeah, 500 billion. That's it.
Well, he said Nigeria's not even a top economy in Africa anymore.
No, but it's not
That
even
shit
that.
crazy.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's just a myth, and then just a bunch of egotistic. It's a country that could be very powerful because one, they have the numbers. I never knew Nigeria was massive, like population wise. One time, my friend told me, I said, "What the fuck?" I said, "Really, y'all country is that big?" Like numbers wise, I was shocked. Like how much they were, population wise. I was shocked. I was like, how the fuck you guys don't take advantage of those numbers? Because imagine if their people just start doing like Amazon. You know how Amazon is, Jeff Bezos and stuff like that, right? Look how much money you could do just
that would actually take time, money, and effort. It's something.
Yeah, but I'm like, look how much money. It's just, all right, man. But
No, I made the point that there's nothing coming into the United States from Nigeria. Now, Adama's probably going to come up here and tell me, "Oh, God, you're absolutely wrong." And whatnot. Look, Adama, in America, right? I watch the ships. I'm in a shipping state in Virginia, right? I watch ships coming in. I watch what comes. I was taking notes about what I could see coming in. You saw Yang, Yin, all ships coming from China, India. Seen Lebanese ship with Arabic writing on it. I've seen everything. I've never seen an African container come into the U.S. port. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
They got some.
No, they're not. No, they're not, dude. I'm out there every friggin' time I get a chance, and this is stuff.
It's very tiny. Yeah, it's very tiny.
There's nothing coming into from the
It's
United
very
States.
tiny, man. I know what you're saying.
There's nothing
Man,
coming
what
in
you
from
saying,
Africa.
like what you said, there's truth in it, 100%. There's truth in it, 100%. But it's very tiny. But overall, it's just my problem with us, right? Us, especially us from the continent. It's just we so focused on the wrong thing. Like it's just like how Dennis is doing you know um like black folks in America, some of them like you have like certain percent, like 10% or like 5%, they claim like they Indian. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you say, these people claim they dead ass Indians, right? We have
Those
the
people are
same
mentally
problem
ill.
in Africa.
Those people are mentally ill.
Like like man, it's like this man just did like 5 shows on the same topic, and then people come and just still like defend themselves. Like I'm like, hold on though, 5 shows, and then you take that same fucked up mindset. It's the same thing in Africa. It's the same thing in Africa, man. It's the same thing in Africa. We so worried about like, man, we so worried about the wrong shit in Africa. It's like unbelievable. Imagine 200 people in a country. Wow. Carlos, think about that number though.
Yeah, it's a lot of Negroes.
Yes, think about that fucking numbers.
A lot of
200.
Negroes in Nigeria.
200, man, Carlos. Think about that fucking number, man. How much people is that? When you and you just doing money,
if you got
business wise.
90% of them living off the grid. Now, Nigeria is a developed country, but 90%
Man,
of people live off the grid. So, man, it's like
oh,
doesn't mean
God,
anything.
You got
this
you got to understand that Nigeria is a nation within nations. You got the Yoruba,
no,
Fulani,
don't God, nah,
Hausa,
stop,
the
stop,
Suwa.
stop, stop.
Hold on, hold on. I'm just saying that there's various tribes that
Biafra
it
just
never.
declared its independence. Biafra just declared its independence, and we come up.
Biafra's
When?
not
In
going
Nigeria
nowhere, man.
gets caught in that
He's
area,
not
they
going
get
nowhere.
killed.
When?
Just the other day, Biafra declared itself independent. They got
No,
control over the region.
no, 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 no. They're not going nowhere, man. What are you talking about, Colin, man? Biafra's
No,
not going anywhere.
Biafra, look, Biafra has
I'm,
every
I'm
right
telling you, I'm
to
telling you, man.
succeed.
They could do all they want. I remember like 2 months ago or 3 months ago, right? They went to Finland begging. I mean, imagine Finland's like 5 to 6 million people. Like, like Biafra is like what, almost 40 million people. Think about the math difference though. I'm like, hold on, you going all the way to Finland to East Europe to beg them for what? And then you guys are what, 400, like 40 million pack in Nigeria alone? I mean, our folks, like our people, like their mindset is somewhere else, man. It's somewhere else, man. It is,
Yeah,
man, it is somewhere else, man.
yeah. But let me just say this, Kala, is Ghana already surpassed Nigeria in GDP last year.
No, you didn't. No, you
So
didn't.
yes, they
Ghana's
did. They
GDP,
they they they, they did it last year. If it
look,
wasn't
Ghana's
last year,
GDP.
it was 2023. But Ghana already has a bigger GDP
No,
than I mean,
no, no, you don't.
not Liberia. I'm talking about Nigeria. Ghana has a bigger
I
GDP
know,
than
I know that. I'm
Nigeria.
saying like this. No, Ghana's GDP is only 75 billion. Nigeria's
No,
GDP
no.
is 500.
Ghana has they had a in 2023 they had a bigger GDP. They already surpassed Nigeria in
No, you
GDP.
didn't, bro. No,
So,
you
so,
didn't. No,
so
you
I
didn't.
don't
No, you didn't.
understand where that comes from. Like this concept of like
Well,
not,
I'm gonna
you
look it
know,
up for you right now. Look it up for you right now, Adama. Look it up for right now. Right, watch this.
look up Ghana GDP,
Okay, I always
But
do.
besides
and
even
then
that,
look
man.
and then look
Besides
up
even that,
Nigeria GDP.
Okay,
man, big man.
Ghana
What we
GD,
what we supposed to do
Ghana
is
GDP.
what we supposed to be doing, right, in Africa, especially Africa, right? We don't produce. We don't produce, man. We don't produce, man. It's just our people are so focused on the wrong thing, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, man. I'm like, man, it's ridiculous, man. How can you have a country like Nigeria should be so powerful, like they will be so controlling all these West African countries because there's so many people within their own
China's
country.
GDP, China's GDP 2023 $76 billion. All right, let's go to Nigeria.
I mean, let's stay on top because at the end of the day, like GP, like those numbers, because It had because it goes by population.
Nigeria's GDP, I thought it was higher. It's $363 billion.
Yeah, it goes by population.
That doesn't seem right to me because the data I saw it just showed Ghana with a higher GDP.
You can't be getting your data from Boo Boo the Fool's
Okay,
University.
are you looking at per capita or like what are you looking at?
It's the gross GDP, gross domestic product, of both countries. Go ahead, DK.
Make sure you're looking at nominal. Nominal GDP is the real figure you should be looking at.
Yeah, well, let's look at nominal. Okay, let's look at nominal. Okay, South Africa's GDP is
it's actually purchase power. That's the real
purchase
power.
I sent you the link in the private chat.
Nigeria's GDP basically is look like it went down.
It's a purchase power. That's the real
8 billion USD GDP.
That's the real that's the real numbers, man. It's the purchase power.
Okay. So Nigeria's at 363 billion. South Africa's at 380 billion. Egypt at 396 billion. But guess what? New York City's GDP is 4 trillion. That's more than 4 times the size of Nigeria. New York City.
Check the link in the private chat.
All right, let's see what you got here. Oh, Wikipedia. Oh, come on, man. Come on, bro. How you gonna use the Wikipedia stuff, man? Listen, who wrote this, man? You ain't sources cited. This is a country by GDP nominal. Gross negative. This is a nominal. Market value of final goods. Okay, let's see. Nigeria is. Are they even on this? I didn't see Nigeria on this list.
You have to sort it.
Oh, I do. Okay.
It's up there. But the thing is this, right? All these countries in Africa, like you know what I'm saying? Like when you stick to like West Africa, we don't produce the way we're supposed to. So like these
nominal,
you know
nominal nominal says only $199 million. What does that mean? It says $199,000 million. What's that? What's that mean? Like $1 trillion? All right, DK, what you give me here? Well, what the hell?
Population? It's $199 billion.
$199 billion.
Yeah.
So it's lower. It's nominal. That's sad.
Yes.
Okay. What is Ghana's nominal?
It's at I think on the list is on 75 billion.
Anyway, not good, man. Not good. Not good. What would Chuko think about these numbers, man? That's why everybody keep telling me how many billionaires they got in Nigeria. I'm like, there's something not adding up, man.
Man, Color. Why you calling people like Chuko? Man, Chuko don't care about Nigeria, man. That's like you.
Chuko always throws Nigeria.
Man, Elvis don't care about Liberia, man.
I know that.
Elvis don't care about Liberia, man. What bothers me? What bothers me? People like them, right? They get on these shows, right? Constantly, they on this show, they on this show, they on this show right here. But really, like they don't give a fuck about their continent. They really don't. Like you could have shows about Africa or whatever. They show up and talk all day. But those people don't care, man. Evers don't care about Africa. Trust me. Man, Chuko, he doesn't. Man, Chuko probably just want, Biafra so that he could become more richer. But
I don't know what
overall,
think people always basically like this. Look, I wish the Nigerians much success, whatever like that. You know, success, no success for well, what you
Yeah.
can't do is try to use Nigeria to discredit the struggle of Black America.
No, man. No.
Our struggle
You
is
can't.
different, right?
You
Because
can't. You
we
can't. You got to stay from that.
we do not have a
I stay
government.
from that, man. Trust me, Carla. I try to stay from that. I stay away from that. I stay away from that. For me, I personally stay away from that because end of the day, my end game is Africa. My mind, my soul will always be in Africa. I will never come up to shows constantly every week, every day, talking about Africa, talking about this and that. But then my belief it's not the same. I will never do that. I will never do that. Because what's the point? Like, it's just like basically to me, it's just saying I'm like insecure. I don't believe in myself. I don't believe in my people. That's why sometimes when you always hear them, there was propelled the white man. The white man is so great. The white man is so better. You understand? So that's how I see them. Like those, fuck that.
It's
It's
always the
just
white. Well, our leaders teach us in America and Africa, worship the white
no.
man.
I mean, yeah. It's just like believing somebody is better than you because of your race doesn't make no sense. Then why the hell do you come to every show and talk about the issues, but then you say your people are not capable? It makes no freaking sense. Then why have your child in America born and raised here, but then you could tell your child they could be anything, like degrees wise? Then what's the difference? Then it's your child, it's your DNA. You understand? So it makes no fucking sense. That's why people like that, man, they constantly like get on these shows and just blah blah blah, all these garbage in their mouth. Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Rico Miller, this guy, man, so we don't trust whites or they have no, you don't trust Africans. You love whites, Rico. Let's admit it, man. You basically say that you're American, you're a foundational Black American. That's the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life. So in other words, Rico is his future and fortune tethered to the white man. White man goes up, you go up. White man goes down, you go down. So basically, you're trying to prove alliances to the white man by attacking African people from the Caribbean under the guise of trying to be Black American. You know. I mean, it's just hilarious, man. I tell you.
I mean, four or five shows talk about like I'm Indian. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I'm like, wow. It's just the mindset of like your people. It's just the mindset of your people, man. I'm like, how the hell our people could be like this? Carlo, man, please explain it to me.
Hold up. The reason why Diane's is doing that is because we're letting it be known that there's nowhere to run. If you believe you're Indian, whatever like that, we're gonna come and clown you out of existence. Now these guys look foolish, I was on the other night on that show. These guys look foolish.
Man,
and I'm certain I turn it off.
What do you gain if your DNA is Indian? I mean, let's look at it. If your DNA is like 80% Indian, right? What do you gain?
You gotta understand, like people like Rico Miller and all these other people, right? These people hate being associated with Africa, right? They have this idea that Africa is ugly, Africa's stupid, Africa's dumb, Africa's backwards, Africa's savage, Africa's all this stuff like this. And like I said, when I was a kid, right, besides being called a nigger was bad, being called African was even worse,
I understand that, but you live in America. So what's the fucking point then?
So I'm saying, I'm like this. I'm saying that's what they do. So, but
you don't have to go over there.
I'm like, I took the power away from them. I took the listen. Well, let me speak for a second, bro. God damn, control yourself. I said I took the power away from them by embracing Africa. By embracing, learning about Africa, learning about the history. And then I want to know when people say, "Well, go back to Africa." I said, you know something? I wonder, did we ever try to go back to Africa? That's what led me to Liberia when I was a kid. That's why I'm here right now. I was always fascinated about Black people being able to leave America and go to Africa.
I see.
I
see. What do you gain if your DNA is 80% Indian? That's what I don't understand.
Huh?
I said,
well,
what do you gain if your DNA is 80% Indian? If you do a DNA test, right?
Let me,
Your DNA
Ahmed,
test 80%.
Ahmed, you said it. Let me answer you, man. You can't answer a question and answer yourself. What you gain in the mind of these people is more proximity to white people because Indians are more favored historically than black people. Indians were not slaves. Black people were condemned because we're African. I'll tell you about a story, brother. I always tell this the story about the Alibaba. I call it the Alibaba mentality, right? This is what happened. In Missouri, there was this brown-skinned black man, right? He was kind of brown-skinned, but like that kind of fair brown skin, right? Then he was a slave, right? And what happened was he escaped his slave master, right, by putting on a turban on his head and pretending he was a Hindu, right? But it got past slave patrols and stuff like this, right? And then, when people start realizing, black people start realizing if they disguise themselves as another race, they could have some sort of freedom. That's why basically, what you call people like Rico Miller still basically, he don't have to do that no more. He's free, but he still feels that he has to be a Native American or stuff like that, running around, put a wig on his head to be a Native, whatever, run down beating a tom-tom and whatnot, doing a powwow. And he could call himself a foundational Black American, which is a Native American, You don't have to do that anymore. He's free. So it is what it is.
Yeah, my opinion, as an African American Nigerian, so-called Nigerian American, I don't get offended by it anymore. I used to be like, why don't you identify with Africa? But when you look at the state of Africa, it makes sense. They wouldn't want to identify with Africa, especially when you see a guy like Chisekedi say, "Okay, I'll just give away all my minerals to America just for protection." They would be embarrassed.
No, check this out. Don't forget about Black America, right? He has to know there's Black Americans that want to come home. Wherever he has to know that there's African Americans going to Ghana and other parts of Africa. He's like, man, and also African Americans, the majority that came here in the 1600s come from the Congo. Why didn't he reach out to Black America and say, let's form something like that? We could put our money together and resource and build something. He goes right to the white man. Yeah,
that's the problem. That's the problem I have. Is that even if all the Pan-Africanism is coming from America, there's none coming from Africa. And one thing I like about
I'll be honest with you, bro. What you just said is profound. Look, I'm here in Liberia, right? And Black nationalism, Pan-Africanism is not on nobody's mind.
Okay, Deke.
And the thing I like about Trump is he just puts it all out in the front. He showed his pan-Europeanism. He put it to the forefront. He says, I'm going to make an executive order for white Afrikaners and bring them to America. Where's that in Africa? It's not there. It's
not there, man. They don't care. They don't give a flying.
Okay, DK, what you said, there's truth behind it as well, right? Let's go back to
of course, it's the absolute truth.
Let's go back to no. I'm not disagreeing with him. What he said is true in it, But let's go back to with the identity right here, right? Even if you have issue with the image of Africa, right? Like whatever you have the image of it, right? You don't want to be associated with Africa at all, right? At all. But even me, I'm still not going to make myself believe that I am Indian.
Oh, let me say this. Let me say this.
You understand?
I got hope. Gives me hope, right? I saw a TikTok the other day. It's light-skinned sister from America, right? She's Redbone, right? And she had a red, black, and green flag up. She goes, I love Ibrahim Traore. This is my man. She goes, I'm about to go to Burkina Faso, get my passport, go to Burkina Faso. I hope to meet this man one day. He is my God, my hero, whatever like this. There's a lot. I embrace what he's doing. I love his country. I want to be part of what he's doing and whatnot. And I said to myself, see, that is She's like she's middle class, you know, got money, whatever like that, you know, well-to-do and everything. I'm saying that's the sort of thing when you got the real leadership, black people identify, you know. But if you're weak, begging, and like that Nano Adu clown that was on Ghana and whatnot, you know, begging and snitching, you know, other
Oh, you talking about the last president?
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man, just like how
snitching on the
DK was saying
Sahel.
it. DK,
That nigga was snitching on fucking Burkina Faso like crazy. His blinkers looking at him like, what do you want us to do, man?
yes, master. There's so many of them in West Africa, man. There's so many of them. Oh my god,
And they crammed them
so many
all on
of
a
them,
fucking
man.
plane. One
That's why they
coach
don't want
bus.
you guys in Africa, because
Yeah,
at
of
the end
course
of the
they
day,
don't want us there, man.
I'm
They want us
telling
there.
y'all, it's those motherfuckers.
Well, let me
sorry
get my
about
good
cussing.
brother Focus Dave on and whatnot. Dave, what's on your mind,
Yo,
brother?
good evening, College Genesis, brother, man. Good
What's going
evening,
on, brother?
panel, man.
I'm
Yo, thank you
I'm
for,
in the motherland, man. I'm in the
yo,
promised
man.
land.
You're around a lot of deadly clowns over there too, man.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you
anyway,
see,
that's for
Yepa, whatever his name is, on Facebook, man. He's giving out chips. You know, he's selling chips on the street corner. You know, your boy Yepa. I mean, it's just the fun never ends, man. You
it's
know,
the deadly clown, man. It's
the
jokers.
three-ring circus. When I,
We're dealing with real.
tell me, right? When you look at Liberia, they got everything set up as far as like a government, and everything. But you look at some of these guys that's holding public office. These guys, if they were in America, they'd be nothing but janitors and McDonald's workers.
Some of them be on the street, College. Come on, let's be real. Some of them be on.
They would be freaking either homeless, you know, if they was in
Yeah,
America.
some of them be on.
Kala. Did you know the president of what's that called, Gambia? He was he was a cop, a security guard in the UK at a grocery store.
Lord have
He was
mercy,
studying
man.
Hey, DK.
The fun never ends,
man. Sorry to
man.
cut you off, man. I remember one day Dollar Bill says, "Man, you go to Gambia, man. Anything happen to you, just slide the police $50, man." They just like, okay, just go. I started laughing, man.
But check it out. Why is Princess? Your Princess just says the DRC ain't begging. Yeah, they're begging. No, they're not begging. They're pleading. They're on their knees. Come on, Master Trump. Come in there, man. You know, come on, Master Trump. You know, come on, man. Princess, man. Princess, you know.
He was a security guard at Argos, which is a grocery store in the UK. That's crazy.
That's sad. I didn't even know that, man. But he is sent to. That's only in Africa, man.
And Colin, that's the type of Colin, that's the type of people we got leading us into the 21st century.
Exactly. That's what I said. Deadly clowns, man. Leadership.
Deadly
and not
clowns,
just America, Africa too. Deadly clowns, man, in leadership position, you know.
We got them over here too a lot. We got them over here too.
Oh, it's all in Black America,
man.
I'm done with all these people. They're clowns, you know.
We got them all.
I'm done with clowns, man. That's why I said I live in Virginia Beach, man. They say, "Whoa, Colin, man, you moved out of Norfolk. You should be man. Get the fuck out of here." You know, I tried my best. Lord knows I tried. You know, but Negroes, man, I tell you, you know, and we elect the worst people. You know, all somebody has to do is get up there and make a bunch of speeches, blah blah blah, racism, blah 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 blah. Oh, that's our guy when he robbing the coffers, when I stealing funds and misappropriating shit. You know. When white people try to check them, whatnot, oh, they're racist. They're coming at me. Yeah, we got to rally behind such and such. Yeah, man, get out of here with that shit, man. You know, that's why a lot of black people are moving out to Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, and everything. We've had enough, you know. Sick of poor services and poor all this shit like that, you know. Failing schools, failing everything like that. No parks and recreation, nothing fucking done. You know, poor sanitation and everything like that. Can't even freaking go to a store in the daytime. The store's gas station is like an armed people in a vault. That's how dangerous it is. Like you got to talk to a sliding window. You know, like damn. The white areas, man. I can go 3 o'clock in the morning and get a 2-piece chicken and a biscuit. And I used to get this the steak fries, whatever like that, with this stuff called Chesapeake sauce, delicious, right? 2 o'clock in the morning. Shouldn't be eating that late, but. In a big soda, right? Chug it down after my show, you know. Sometimes I'll be doing my show, right? You guys don't know it, and I'll let Dollar Bill host it right like that. That's what I say. Like I'll be slipping out to the store. So I can do that where I live at, you know. And I can have my my night clothes on, my slippers, and I can slip out to the store. It's suburban life, you know.
Yeah, and
But the
everything
whole
be
thing,
good. All access to everything. You know.
right. Now, if I lived in the hood,
Oh
well,
no,
what do you think I
everything
do in the
shut
hood? You
down.
know,
Everything shut down
I would
in the
have to
hood, man.
starve till the morning time, man. I look, I can't do that no more, you know.
Ah,
So it is what it is. Like I said, but I do love Liberia. One thing is peaceful. I don't see the you see those videos I put up on Facebook, Dave, right? The fights when
yeah,
I,
I
you
saw it
know.
when you was it was right the kids with the rollerblades. I saw you
Oh yeah. You saw
on
that? Yeah,
yeah.
that only in Liberia, man. Motherfuckers riding down the road, going like over 50 miles an hour on rollerblades in the back of a car. Only in Liberia, man. Only in Liberia. Oh, my Liberian people, you know, it's funny. Look, I love this place, man. This place has so much potential. Like when you're driving to those days, when you're driving on Tubman Boulevard at night, don't you feel like you're in Manhattan?
Yeah, man, yeah.
You got to see these tall buildings and stuff like that. It's amazing, man. It's like miles and miles of buildings and whatnot. It's like holy in Sincor and going down to Congo Town, Sincor. You go from Congo Town to Sincor, then down to
That long
down
strip. The
that
long
long
strip.
stretch, man. You swear you're in Manhattan, you know, going up Broadway or something. You know, it's nice, you know. And you always think this
Got a
is
lot
what
of
I fucking.
potential, man. Got a lot of potential.
Look,
It's just
I went to a place called Maserado Lounge. Have you been there yet?
I ain't been there. I ain't been there.
Holy
Where's that at?
jeez.
Where's
It's,
that at?
you
Where's
know,
that at?
cause it's right there, you know, where, right before you get to Invincible Park, go down that side road, was
Yeah,
tucked
yeah, I know
away
about yeah,
in the
right
bay.
there.
You
You talking
can't
about
see
by
it.
the CDC headquarters?
Yeah.
By the CDC
Yeah. So,
headquarters,
but you
yeah.
can't see it that well, but you got to go in there. You go in there, it's so friggin' nice. They even got a friggin', what you call a hibachi bar in there, you know? You pick out your fish, tell them how you want to cook it or not, you know? It is friggin' nice, man. There was a bunch of white people there tonight, man. It was like
Oh
packed.
yeah, yeah,
White people
yeah.
there. Like, that's what white. You can tell
the
this place
white
is
folks
expensive too. You
the
can tell
white
this place
folks
is
love
expensive.
the white folks love that place, man.
So
The
yeah,
white
let me tell you
folks love
something.
Liberia,
Well,
man.
I don't know why black people are waiting to come to Liberia or not, but the white people have found something. They know something. When you see white people here, they know something. You
But
know,
Kyle, not to cut you about, I've been saying they know more about Liberia than black people in America. They know more about
it's sad, man. It's
they
really
know
sad.
more about the place, man.
And then what's gonna happen when it
They know
starts
about the
popping off? When it really
geography.
starts popping off, you start saying, "Well, Liberia produced white millionaires and whatnot in Liberia." You're gonna see the same usual suspect. They're coming over there, taking our land over. Blah, blah, blah. Well, nigga, you had all that time. You should have listened to Kala, Bamani, and all those other people trying to get you to come to Africa. But you're gonna wait after the fact, right? Because the bottom line is this: I have nothing against white people investing in Africa, right? You know, Lisa Filibas, I think she's pretty cool. You know, I heard she owns that place in Nimba too. You know, the Wokolo Lodge in
Yeah,
Cape Mountain. They own that one, right? All the people when I went there, they were like, "Hey," everybody said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." Last year, you were here last year with Beaumont. I said, "Oh yeah." All the people from Libasta work up there. It's the same people. It's real nice, you know. And the resort in Nimba is owned by her too, you know.
yeah.
But she's a white lady, man. She got her shit together, man. She's investing, putting people to work. I can't say nothing, you know.
You can't
This is
say
pretty
nothing.
cool. Now, if you got somebody like me and Bomani saying that, you know, I say,
Yeah,
hey,
but
we
you
got.
can't trust those people, man.
Well, look, it doesn't matter if we can trust them or not. They're investing. You're not.
They there. They
Understand?
there, man.
Can't
What you
trust
gonna
those
They're
people.
do?
there.
They
That's
they
the
they there.
reality. That's the reality.
They there getting malaria, the bush, and the crickets. I can't say nothing. You can't say nothing.
You can't say nothing, man. So the bottom
Nah,
line is,
man.
if
No,
you're black
man. I know
people
what
get
y'all
together,
saying.
you know something,
I know
then
where
you can
y'all coming
talk.
from. I know where y'all coming from.
The only thing we could do is just step our game up and compete. That's it.
True, 100%, 100%. That is true, though. That is true. I mean,
Because at this point
I
in
always
time,
say, man,
nobody wants to
Africa is,
hear no excuses. You know, the
yeah,
bottom line, what's going
Africa
to
is
happen in
available to be
years,
taken,
the
especially in the
Liberia,
next 5 more years.
while Liberia starts booming, you know what it takes? All it takes is we got my guy Val Thomas and his wife Cynthia Blanchard. Blanford. She's the one that helped establish Candasia. I met them the other day. And she was friends with Bob. She's friends with Bob Johnson. She also helped get the Delta flight in Liberia back in 2000. What was that? 2010, somewhere like that. When the resort opened up, whatever. Anyway, there's a lot of African Americans in Liberia. A lot of them, investing and stuff like that, right? But we really haven't had audience with the right people on the right level. We are, because we brought the president of Liberia to Georgia last year. It's a big thing. I'm not blaming the Liberians, right? I'm blaming Black America, right? Because this is a golden opportunity to step out on the international stage,
But Kyla, I know what you're saying, man, but I don't see black people in America. Most black people. It's gonna be a small number of us. I don't
That's
see
all we
most
need. We
black
don't need a
people.
lot of black people. We don't need a
Yeah,
lot,
most black people comfortable, man. Most black people ain't trying to do all of that
Yeah.
hard
So,
shit in there.
a couple of
It's
tell
gonna be a
basically.
couple of us, our little
Oh yeah,
circle, our
what's
little,
gonna really do it? When those Afrikaners come here.
Oh yeah, they
When
gonna
they
be
come
terrible.
here and whatnot, and they start talking shit,
Yeah,
already,
it's
some.
gonna,
I'm
it's gonna,
arguing with.
that's gonna,
You
excuse my language.
I'm,
It's
I'm,
gonna wake black people up.
arguing with
That's
this.
gonna wake
Hold up.
black people up.
Check this out. I was arguing with one Afrikaner on the line today, right? And he was, I was like, dude, man, shut up. I told him, I basically was arguing with him. I said, yeah, he goes, look, Colin, when I was coming up, man, slaves didn't talk back to their master. I said, oh, okay, I'm a slave, right? I said, when you come to America, we'll show you who's a fucking slave, So these guys say, yeah, when I come to America, Colin, blah, blah, they really think they're going to come to America kicking us around, They really think so. They really think they're joining some, I think they're misreading things, They think there's,
they're in for a rude awakening, bro.
they're in for a damn rude awakening,
Like, this isn't
And
South
we're gonna give them
Africa.
a nice warm welcome. I'll be part of the welcoming committee.
Wow, man. He really said that to you, Colin?
Yeah,
What?
they rude, bro.
He
They
really said that
rude
to
like
you?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
rude
the
like
South
that. You don't know them?
Africans'
Dang.
fault
I met
for
a
being
couple of
weak as
those.
Look,
They
these
fuck.
rude like
motherfuckers,
Said
that,
that to
bro.
are
you?
so racist. These
Yeah,
motherfuckers are
they
so racist.
Man.
old.
You know
Man,
what?
the
You
entitlement.
know what?
And yo, Kala, I'm not to cut you off, Kala. They already here and they already informing. Over here
Yeah.
already. They already here. They
Yeah,
into
that's what the
farming
guy said.
already.
The guy
They
said
under
that
the
he's
radar
farming
now.
them. But I want to know. I want to know how they farming without. They must be exploiting Mexican
No,
labor.
they're getting grants. They're getting special grants and
Of
stuff.
course,
They already
that's the
here.
only way
They
they
already
fund. In
here.
South Africa, they get grants and,
Yeah, they
and
already
cheap
here.
labor and stuff like that. That's all they fund. They don't fucking have any real competition. They don't know what real competition
Hey,
is.
yo, Carla, let me just tell you this. Carla. I'm into agriculture. Like I'm already, I've researched a lot of it. I want to start a farm eventually one day. Um, there are white American farmers who go around the country and they do seminars to help other farmers. And a lot of times they do these seminars with white South African farmers. So you'll have a white American farmer, and they'll be teaming up with a white South African farmer, and they'll be going around the country doing seminars, for other white folks who are farmers, and teaching them like the best way to, how to have a successful farm, the best way to do their crops, the best way to do their cattle and their livestock. They've been collaborating for quite some time now, and I've seen their YouTube videos and stuff. I've
Of
seen
course, the whites in America and white South Africans always had a relationship. I don't know why the black government ANC thought that they had power. No, as long as whites had a
Get it, bro.
connection with the white America, they were just biding their time.
Man, they
But
own
you're
about
speaking
90% of the
truth.
land in South
And
Africa.
another thing,
90% of the land.
my problem is, once again, I said it before, if Cyril Ramaphosa said, okay, you granted them asylum, we'll grant Black Americans asylum. That would
He
have
ain't
been
gonna
a
do
game
that
changer.
though. The guy's a clown. He's a fucking clown. He ain't gonna do that. The fucking clown. Like I said, that's why I said when you ask me who do I like, I don't like none of these African leaders. I don't like any of them. I resent. That's why I said I
Yeah,
resent.
Kala, I feel the
I gotta
same way.
be dual citizen. I don't
Those
like
guys
any of
too.
these current leaders in Africa. That's why I can never take a
And,
citizenship in Africa right
and
now.
Kala, I want not to cut you off. Another underlining thing I think you need to. But we talked about it before. These traditional leaders too. They don't get enough flack. I think we put a lot of We put a lot of blame on the government officials, but a
Yeah, the
lot of
traditional
these,
is
but a lot of these
ignorant.
traditional leaders too are in cahoots. These are the
I
ones
know. All
keeping
you
the
have to do is buy them a
tribalism
bucket
going
of fish
on.
and some money and whatnot, and that's all you do is to pay them off.
Yeah, these
Not
guys. No.
Dave,
That
it's
is
been
true.
like
That is true.
These are the guys. No, not to cut you off. These are the guys are prolonging tribalism. These are the guys prolonging the development because they don't want to lose their chiefdomhoods and they don't want to lose their power.
That is true.
These guys,
100%.
I've been when I was living in Liberia, I was monitoring it. I was like, we give a lot of flack to the government officials, but the middleman between everything is the traditional leaders.
Yep. Yep.
These
Yep.
are the guys.
Yep.
If you try to do some development in these villages, if you try to bring in water
Yep.
systems, they step on it, Carla. I'm telling
Yep.
you,
Yep.
these
100%.
guys
I
will
got
step
stories.
on it.
I got
These
stories, man.
guys, because they know, like people in their tribe look at them as guys, as chiefs. Some of them look at, and these guys prolong a lot of this arrested development you talking about too, Carla, is from these chiefs. They're the middlemen.
Yep. Yep.
You gotta really do some investigation and we gotta do some more talking on them because I understand the government officials, but some of the government officials too are controlled by the traditional leaders. You gotta, they got their societies and things like that. So a lot of the deadly clowns, I agree, are in the government, but a lot of the deadly clowns too are the traditional leaders.
Yep. 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 I got stories to tell y'all.
We really gotta, they're the ones prolonging a lot of this stuff too, Kyla. You want to build a skyscraper? Oh no, this is tribal land. Oh, you can't do it because you're taking away their power. You understand me? If you come there and you do something for the village, you're taking away their power. Now you the chief. Now Kyla Genesis is the chief. Everybody want to follow because these guys they prolonging everything, man. I really, I got a problem with them, man. I really got a problem with them. I don't know. It's just me, man. But you got to really look into it, Kyla. These traditional leaders too. They gotta go.
Man, you're not lying, man. You're not lying.
You gotta like Dollar Bill say, put the traditional leaders in the museum. It's nothing wrong with the traditional leaders, but we're in a different time, and the traditions are not being updated as to suit the African needs at this time. That's the problem,
Yeah, because he sit on power. So he sit on
Yeah,
power,
they
and he
sitting on
doesn't
it,
want
bro.
he
I
doesn't
noticed
want
that.
he doesn't want development because if development happens, he
He's
loses
out
his
of power.
corruption.
He's out of power. I
Yeah,
noticed
yeah,
that a lot of
yeah.
these
That's the whole
guys.
thing. You got
Yeah,
people. Wherever there's poverty, somebody makes money.
yeah.
Somebody makes money because of people are poor. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
makes money because of that. People need to understand that. And then if you make your money because people are staying poor, why would you ever want the place to be developed?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, those guys have a
That
lot of money.
that
Trust
doesn't
me,
make any sense though, because
those guys
everything
have a
is
lot of
relative.
money,
Look,
man.
everything is
I'll tell y'all
relative. As
stories, man. Those guys are rich.
They
What are you
yeah,
talking
completely
but
about?
is.
Traditional leaders are rich, bro. What are you talking about? These guys got massive land. Some of these guys got 20 wives.
Yes, some of them are
What are you
rich, man.
talking about, bro? Properties all over, whole towns they control. You can't do nothing there.
Yep,
They,
whatever they
they
said, that's
use
final.
they
You
use
can't do shit.
everybody in their tribe like slaves. I tell it like
Would
it
you
is.
want to be rich in a poor country or rich in a
Yeah,
developed country?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's basically feudalism in the
Yes,
21st
yes.
century.
Thank you,
It's
bro. Thank
stupid
you,
as
bro.
fuck.
I mean, it's effed up, man. It's effed up. Like I'll tell you,
So
like for instance, where my people come from, right? It's in the north of Sierra Leone, all the way to the north of you know, like close to Guinea. It's like you going toward Guinea, right? So, for instance, like the current chief, he has over 500 cows.
okay.
He's in control of acres, like acres. He's in
Yeah.
control of the mining that they just discovered. This man travels all the time. This man does not even stay in his own town. So then, if you imagine how much money he has in his bank account and all these things, and then just look at how much power this man has over these people, like thousands of people. It's ridiculous,
Thousands of
man.
people.
Yes,
Thousands of people.
it's ridiculous.
Some of them worship him like a god, man. Come on.
I mean, whatever this man says, just fine. You can't do nothing.
Fine, you can't do nothing.
You can't do
everybody shit. Everybody gonna follow suit.
You can't do shit. And then you look at it like, bang, bang, bang. I mean, but then how much does he has in his account? In his personal bank account. And then this man drives around Range Rover. But he can't even make like a fucking light in some of these towns that don't have no fucking lights. But this man drives around a car that costs like over $100,000. I mean,